Oh, jings. Zabalbus, how you doing? Oh shit, I've not set it up. Zabalbus, how you doing? Welcome in, everybody. If I do this, and then do this, and then do... Nah, Zabalbus has got a profile picture. Is that right? Have you not got a profile picture? Turns out you've not got a profile picture. How embarrassing. Zabalbus, thank you very much for subbing. Listen, I need to go and make a cup of tea because I've got a brand new 10:30 cup, and also my wee dog's barking, and if she keeps barking she'll piss in protest, so I need to go and see what she's up to. So this is a wee bit unconventional. What I'm going to do is stick you on BRB, right? But there's some good music for you, so just get comfy. And here's some that's maybe a bit risky. Talk amongst yourselves, right? Most of you I think are sound. Talk amongst yourselves. Do you know what I mean? Just for a wee bit. And then I'll come back with a cup of tea and a nice relaxed dog, and it'll just be brilliant, right? Right. Okay, see you in a wee minute. Oh, as it was supposed to change. See you in a wee minute. Hi everybody, I'm back, and hey, guess what? I've got a wee cup of tea. Look, it's filled up, maybe a bit too full. Freddie, careful, there's hot tea, pal. Hold on, I'm going to put it down, because Fred is under my legs, and I know him. He's about to just spill the hot tea. So I won't show you my wee cup, but I'll show you in a wee minute once we've had a couple of sips enough to get the water level down enough so that I feel comfortable raising it up into the frame. Did you just bang your head? I told you not to go under there. Everybody, we've got two dogs in the room today. We've got the big dog over here, and he definitely wants to spill some tea, get wrapped up in some wires, cause a bit of mischief, don't you? And then we've got the other dog, and she doesn't want to do anything. Well, she's sort of biting at her arse just now. Pepper! Yeah, wee good girl. I know you're a wee good girl as well, Freddie, 100%. No questions about it, Freddie. Freddie, do you want to lie down? Oh, how good would it be if you had a wee lie down? You want to do that? No. No, I don't want to lie down, says Fred. Hi folks, welcome in. How you doing? Let me start at the top. First of all, can I just say thank you very much to Zabalbus for subbing. Welcome in, Zabalbus. Hello Skywatcher77, hello Echo Thump, Rewild, Pursue, how you doing? Can I talk today? Tarantula Lansbury, hello beneath the headphones, welcome in. Hello to all the 1030 fans in chat. Hello to all my 1030 fans. Yeah, that's good, having a wee lie down. Lying down on my foot switches though, so who knows what's going to happen there. Eh? Freddie's going to be controlling the stream a wee bit. Welcome in. Chameleon is in, and Chameleon has got a bit of good news. And hey, listen everybody, see at the start of the stream, what we like to do is share a wee bit of good news. Because now on the internet, bad news everywhere. Here, we can share good news if you've got it. Chameleon is in with a wee bit of good news. Good news, Glasgow are top of the UK Ice Hockey League. Granted, one game has been played and we won it, but don't let that get in the way. The Glasgow are the top for the first time. That's amazing. I wonder why ice hockey doesn't get more representation on like the news results and stuff. That's cool. Maximum respect to the Glasgow Ice Hockey League. You think Glasgow would be good at ice hockey? Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but in ice hockey, it's kinda allowed to just have a fight every now and again, isn't it? And it's like within the rules and stuff. Fred's just started to fall asleep at my feet. And you would imagine that Glasgow's good at ice hockey because of the fighting affiliation. Zabalba says, I'm an anonymous egg cunt. You're showing your age, man. That's Twitter, Patter. Twitter hasn't existed for, what, about 15 years now? Hello, Zabalbas. Thanks once again. Hello, Nino. Hello, Pursue. Fagdurkur is a devastating insult in Vogon, Zygon, and other unpopular aliens. Well, do you know what I'll say? If any are watching, fuck the Vogon, Zygon, and other unpopular aliens. Shots fired, man. I can't even speak. Junker Pop says, grow up, Pepper. It's Pepper. But, aye, she needs to grow up. She's sleeping as well. We've got two sleepy dogs in here. Fred was out yesterday getting his chemotherapy treatment. And then by the time I came home, I was just shattered by the full experience. So I went to sleep. And then by the time I woke up, it was far too late to start streaming. So, the good news is that he's doing all right. They didn't find any badnesses or anything. So he's on week 4. No, he's on week 5. That there was week 5 of his treatment. I've actually got printouts. So the good news was, remember I was trying to figure out how much money the full thing will cost. Yesterday I was able to sit down with the vet and be like, is this right? She's like, no. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, is that right? She's like, no. I'm like, right. So then she was doing the sums and I was comparing sums. So it turns out that I was £500 short in the estimate of what I need to pay, which is the bad news. But in the long scheme of all the treatment, £500 isn't really that much money in comparison to the full thing. £500 is a lot of money. But the good news is that once I calculated all of the sums, for the first time, she was like, yep, that's a realistic thing. And how bogus is it that I need to do that? I mean, I know it's all part of it, but see, try to do sums to do with time and money. I'm very rubbish at it. So, I've updated this. This is now in pounds. That there is the goal for what I need to pay. The total treatment will be 8,471 quid, which is counter to the initial 4,200 estimate that I was given. But it turns out, for loads of reasons, that was a lot of nonsense. Turns out there was 5,200 was the original estimate, plus £2,000 staging fee, which I didn't know. I thought it was all part of the thing. Also, that number didn't include VAT, so that bumps it up. Also, I thought the insurance was done at the 5th of December, because as soon as the insurance is done, it'll renew for another policy year, so I've got like another £4,000 to play with come the 5th of December, but it isn't. Turns out it's the 28th of December. So for all these reasons, what used to be £5,200 split between me and my insurance, and every year I've got £4,000 on my insurance, right? So I thought, this will be a piece of piss, let's go for it all. No, turns out because of numbers, the total thing is £8,471 split between me and my insurance, and the side that I need to pay costs that much money. Which isn't wonderful, right? But what is wonderful is I now know that that is true, because I've been through all sorts of versions of these sums, thinking on Friday there, I thought that was me. I thought we'd reached the goal. I went into Scroobius Pip's chat and I was like, yeah, everybody will celebrate, we've reached the Fred goal. Don't get me wrong, we're on track, everything's going absolutely brilliant. But what I'm complaining about right now specifically is my own inability to fully grasp numbers and all that shit. But anyway, thank you very much, Umir, for the follow. What I'm really happy about is that I now know that that is the goal, and that is that, and that feels good. So that's my good news. My other good news is Fred's doing pretty well. Hello K Harker, welcome in, how you doing? Good news, managed to deworm all my cats this morning and swapped all my dog's old flea collars for brand new ones. Amazing, that is a responsible pet steward right there, K Harker. That is amazing. Hello beneath the headphones, hello Junko Pop. Junko Pop's in with a wee bit of good news. Junko Pop says, good news, I've taken off 2 days from work to do creative projects. I've the house all to myself. It's brilliant. Junko Pop, that sounds genuinely amazing. That sounds like the dream. What creative projects are you doing? If you're at liberty to say. How yous all doing, man? Welcome in. Beneath Headphone says, what's everyone's favourite crisp? Mine's Skips or the posh veg crisps. I do like a cheese and onion crisp in terms of flavours, but in terms of like type of crisp, which wasn't what you asked, you didn't ask what flavour, you asked specifically what type. And do you know what? I think I'm mostly post crisps now. I used to be a crisp fiend. I used to eat maybe 3 or 4 bags of crisps every day. However, see of maybe about 6 or 7 years ago, the appetite just isn't in me anymore. What's happening to me? What's happening to me? I did enjoy Skips when I was a wee guy. McCoy's. Do you have McCoy's down there? McCoy's are good. Good Scottish crisps. You need to watch they don't go between your teeth and your gum though, because they're fucking solid, man. They'll give you like an injury. You need stitches. Chameleon, welcome in. Chameleon says, also more good news. My driving test is 11 weeks tomorrow, which means that 11 weeks today is my last working day for the whole year. Amazing. I don't understand. The driving test is 11 weeks tomorrow, which means that 11 weeks today. Alright, so your driving test is at your last working day of the full year? Oh, goodness me. Tarantula Lansbury, thank you very, very, very much for that. Goodness me, get well soon, Fred. Fred, There's somebody on the internet called Tarantula. Tarantula Lansbury. Oh, look at this, man. Get bubble things. Tarantula Lansbury says that you've to get well soon, Freddie. If that's okay, pal. And Ben, thank you very much. Ben, thanks very much for a tenner. Thank you very, very much. Tarantula Lansbury, thank you sincerely. That was a lot of money. And thank you very, very much, Ben, as well. I can't see your name. Can I see if you've got like a Twitch name? Because I don't want to dox your real names. But thank you very, very much. Or was that the same? No, I haven't doxed Tarantula Lansbury's name. Thank you very, very much. And we've just got an order on the thing as well. This is cool, lads. Snuffy the Bear, how do you do? Thank you very much for subbing, Snuffy the Bear. It looks like I'll need to charge the... oh, my playing cards are getting all waterlogged. Looks like I need to charge the bubble gun, everybody. Thanks very much for all the Freddy support. He's a good boy. In fact, you know what I could do maybe, because I've not done it? I could do this, and I think that means you get an announcement, although the announcement might be from Friday, where I thought we got the goal done, so I changed the announcement to say, hey everybody, we've got the Fred goal, and then I hope I went in and rechanged it to be like that. No, not quite. Looks like a bubble build-up. Aye, it happens to the best is. It happens to the best is. Snuffy the Bear, thank you very much for resubbing using Amazon Prime. I pure love Amazon Prime subs. I love all types of subs. So Snuffy the Bear, thank you very much for doing that. Welcome in everybody. If you're just joining us, we're discussing what our favourite types of crisp is. Because that is content. Yes, it's bland as into skips. Do you know, see if I had to be a betting person, I would have figured you'd have been into skips. Yes, it's bland. You strike me as a skip person. Steph Make Stuff, how you doing, Steph Make Stuff? Maximum respect to you. Thank you very, very much for subbing for 49 months. Jesus Christ. I've not stuck to anything for 49 months. Nice and spicy knickknacks. Aye, nice and spicy knickknacks are good. Here, do you know what I used to like, but then they changed the recipe? You know the sort of hollow cylinder sort of crisp? Short Jump Cuts, how you doing? Short Jump Cuts, thank you very, very much for subbing. Here, see if you like Short Jump Cuts. What about this? Short Jump Cuts, thank you very much for subbing, welcome in. We'll get a bubble build up in the system. Oh, the system's all gummed up with bubbles, look at that. Thanks very much, folks. Welcome in. Do you know what we could maybe do? Maybe change the angle. Oh, that's not helping at all. That's not helping at all. But at least you see the bubble scenario. Oh my goodness, that was a Freddy sub. That one. So in order to see what that is, I need... Gibbs, mate. Gibbs, thank you very much for chunking cash, Gibbs. What a legend. Thank you very, very much. I quite like that the bubble build-up is now above us. Although I'm getting dripped on, man. I need to figure out how to set up the bubble machine so that it is wall powered rather than battery powered, because it gets awfully dribbly. Maybe it's just getting old. You know what I'm talking about, guys? Once you get to like an old age, I've heard. It doesn't happen to me. Wheat crunchies used to be good. Remember these boys? Bit of wheat crunchies. Only the crispy bacon ones though, or with spicy tomatoes. I've never had cheese and onion wheat crunchies. However, something terrible happened, and years ago the recipe changed, or my palate became a bit more sophisticated. I think it was probably the recipe changed, and now they just don't hit as hard as they used to. So RIP wheat crunchies. They were probably sold off in the pot noodle. Remember the pot noodle recipe changed? So it's maybe some sort of Unilever thing. Speaking of Unilever, they've been in the news today. Did you see this? Did you see this? So this is live, Umir418. I'm just behind in the chat. What I like to do is start at the top of the chat and I will read it down. So right now I'm quite behind in the chat, but it's just causing me to have a talk because I like the sound of my own voice. Did you see Unilever were in the news? Because Ben & Jerry's ice cream. We've got a lot of ice cream fans in. I know that, right? So Ben from Ben & Jerry is actually a real guy. So it's not like Häagen-Dazs, right? See, Häagen-Dazs doesn't mean anything. It's a made-up word that's made to sound sort of exotic and European. Thumblewind, thank you very, very much, Thumblewind, for chucking cash at Fred. I appreciate this, everybody. Look at that. We're funded until the middle of November. Thumblewind, thank you very, very much for doing that. Do you know what? I should pin that, shouldn't I? So do you know all about the Ben & Jerry stuff? Right, can I pin the announcement? I can't pin the announcement, so I'll copy paste it. It's actually more interesting than what I thought. Right, so excuse me for spamming that just now, but it's just so that I can pin it up there. There we go. Thank you very much. Turns out, right, the whole reason... So Ben exists. Ben and Jerry both exist, right? Unlike Häagen-Dazs. Häagen-Dazs is like made in New Jersey, and they were just looking for a thing to brand their ice cream with, and they came up with a word, Häagen-Dazs. Somebody's like, that's good, and now the company's called that for New Jersey. Anyway, do you know an ice cream guy who does have a bit of integrity? Ben from Ben & Jerry's. So you might have read the headline and you're like, alright, ice cream news doesn't really interest me. No, quite interesting. So, Ben for Ben & Jerry's, because of all their bloody carry on, didn't want ice cream sold in Israel, which I think is quite a solid principle for Ben to have. However, Ben & Jerry at some point get bought over by the Unilever company that own everything and that are everywhere. And Unilever was like, alright, you don't want your name on ice cream in Israel, cool man. Well, what we're going to do, because we basically own you, is we're going to just make the exact same ice cream, because we know the recipe, we know everything, because we're everywhere. And we're just going to sell the same ice cream, but without the Ben & Jerry's name on it. And Ben & Jerry's like, do you know what? Fuck yeah. And so he's left. And it's a big ice cream drama because of Israel's pish. So that's interesting. I didn't know it was all about that. Fuck Unilever and the Magnum Ice Cream Corporation. Unilever just seem to be a bit shady, man. They definitely seem to be. But it's like one of the things where if you look into everything closely, it's all the same company. There isn't a good choice. See, if you go into a supermarket, looks as if you've got all this amazing choice, and you don't. It's all just you're giving money to the same people. So every pound you spend is a vote in it. And I think from now on, I'm going to try and not vote for Unilever, but it's really difficult not to, because they own everything and they make everything. My God, man. Steph Makes Stuff, thank you very, very much, Steph Makes Stuff, for chucking cash at Fred. That's amazing. I really appreciate that. Did that go up? I think it did go up. I'm double checking this because there's some mad maths happening here and I'm shite at maths. I had to build this from scratch. Steph Makes Stuff, thank you very much. And what I've done is now I'm converting it to pounds, because when you pay it's in dollars. And so I've got to convert it back to pounds. There is a leak above me, Taj. Get some bubbles set up happening. So I've got my eye on this, and I can't say for certainty that this is 100% accurate reflection, but it's a really good ballpark one. Also, say for every donation that comes in, I'm automatically deducting, I think it's like 30 cents payment fee plus $1 or something like that. So if somebody's sitting there like that, I gave a $5 and wasn't it a $5 that got that? I know that. And then on top of that, when that comes into my account, I need to pay tax on it as well. So I need to figure, I think the next time, hopefully there will never be a next time for this sort of stuff, but I can see why people go for like GoFundMe and all that sort of stuff. Hello Rhinoceros, welcome in. Steph Makes Stuff, you're a legend, thank you very, very much. Rhinoceros, what's happening is I've repositioned the bubble robot, but we're now just getting like leaks, getting like leakiness, and it's soaking down here, man. I would put, this is why I've got kitchen roll here, no other reason. I would put kitchen roll down, however, a certain wee dog likes to eat kitchen roll, doesn't she? We can't have that. She started making wee dog noises, she knows I'm talking to her. We can't have that. Because then I'll need fucking 2 totalizers. I'll need to put one over here. Yours would be smaller, obviously. Wee doggy. Welcome in, we're talking about crisps. We're talking about crisps. We can't talk about crisps in a Scottish accent without referring you to one of the cornerstones of our culture. We've obviously got Robert Burns, we've got Alistair Gray, and then we have got like Billy Connolly, amazing Scottish cultural output, and then we've got like the contemporary guys.
Yes. I'll be back in 2 minutes. The BE's probably one of the biggest ones. 2 minutes. I'm absolutely full of crisps.
He's absolutely full of crisps. Stop. There we go. I think I should have Scottish memes on buttons, shouldn't I? So that I could just fire that whenever I need to fire it. What other stuff should we put? Obviously the one that I'm in. Good morning, Glasgow! Morning! That is me. That is definitely me. We need... the most recent one that I've been interested in was just a wee fire. I can't see! Disgusting! Aye, are yous alright? Aye, the main question is, are yous alright? Pump This Egg is up there. See, a lot of yous won't know what half of this is. Right, 3D, I'm unsure if I know what Berkhu's Jake it is. Traumapoline! Aye, that was good. That's good. Anyway, I think what we need to do, it's difficult to find the original source of these things. Big shoe. Thanks, driver, as well. I want to go through and sort of weed out the ones that might be making funny people who maybe shouldn't be made fun out of, do you know what I mean? But some of them are good, man. Fuck off, Ali! That one as well. I don't know, Stephen, I thought you were dead. I don't think I know that one. How much did that fresh Rolex set you back an hour? I don't think I know that one as well. I'm here to report a crime. Okay. Easy, Lino. Aye. Here, do you know what? Keep them coming, man. That's no a bonk machine. I'm going to screenshot these, man, and I'm going to have them on buttons. Because a lot of yous, right, and don't take this the wrong way, but a lot of yous are fae down there, right? And you might not be as well versed in our very rich tapestry of culture as some of the other members of the audience. And I think it's my job to inform, educate and entertain. Who left a welly bit there? Some of these you're making stuff up. Mary Biscuits, you are fae down there, but the good bit, aye. I'm not meaning any bits down there are bad bits. I'm just saying, like, your frame of reference. Like, do you know about Fuck Off Ali and I'm absolutely full of crisps and just a wee fire and Pump This Egg? Are you familiar with them, Mary Biscuits? Not to, like, put the spotlight on you, but I'm just saying, like, are folk fae down there already into all of this? Like, you must have seen Trampoline. You must have seen Trampoline. That's, like, quite a successful one. But even then, like, morning, that's literally me. That's actually me. You know what I mean? I am, but I'm secretly Scottish. You are basically Scottish. You're basically Scottish. So, do you know what I mean? Mummy, I've just shit my pants. That is really good as well. You were born there, you were born here. Well, you're Scottish, so what are you talking about? You're from down there. You happen to be down there. You're born in Lanark, there you causing a scene in my chat and all of that. So this single data point isn't valid then, because you're not from down there at all. You're from up here, you just happen to be down there. Sorry, I got really, for some reason, I got red hot there. Don't know what the vibe is. If you're just coming in, well, maybe that's what I should do today, right? Maybe see for all these things, I should. The wee boy singing Jingle Bells, and at the end he's just like that. Like, you can see when he does it. It's just like that. It's like, Mummy, I've just shit my pants. It's so good, man. Maybe today we find all of these, and I will set them up. Because I typically don't have that on stream. You know, some folk have got like wee clips, and the wee clip comes up and it's funny and stuff like that. Please teach me my missing culture. Aye. How long have you been doing there, right? And then I'll figure out like the time scale that I need to make up for. Do you know what I mean? To absolve like sins? I don't know if you'd call it a sin. Anyway, don't worry about it. My goodness me. I'm an S&V guy too. Salt and Vinegar. I read that as Sunset and Vine, which is a television production company. I'm an S&V guy too. Melt my tongue off, please. Never been into Salt and Vinegar. They're a bit too hard for me. Do you know what I mean? I like just middle of the road cheese and onion. You can't go wrong with cheese and onion. Something like you honk of farts. Our head coach is very much in favour of playing a rough game within the rules, so it's something we are getting results with. Nothing too bad, but if a fight comes our way, we'll have a go. I wouldn't expect anything less from the Glasgow hockey team. Here, everybody, did you know that Glasgow hockey team is currently the top of the league? Only one game has been played, but Chameleon informs us that that means that we are currently top of the league for the time being. Nick Nil, we're key smashing. Well, here's the deal, right? So this particular stream is just called, is like basically the name of an Aphex Twin track, right? I just did that. What's the reason? Because I end up accidentally baiting and switching people. So I'll come on stream and I will have an idea for what I want to do. And so I'll be like, oh, today I'm making a thing. And then all these, I think, eventually get saved to YouTube or something. And maybe I go on and I fully intend to build a certain thing or to work on a certain thing. But then you know what the conversation's like. Do you know what I mean? Once the conversation gets flowing, I'll follow my nose. And if it turns out we're talking about crisps for 4 hours, if I'm happy with that, we will take that. So what ends up happening is I'll have a stream title saying, oh, we're doing this today. And then somebody clicks on it and is skipping through, and that isn't the thing. And this became quite evident. So, see this Fred totalizer, right? I was thinking, this is based on a Blue Peter totalizer. So look at this Blue Peter totalizer, right? And I was thinking, because I make hardware stuff, I'm not going to do it, but I had the idea of making a hardware Blue Peter totalizer. I've got all the stuff to do it upstairs, I just don't have the time. But imagine we had lights lighting up and stuff like that, right? So I created a stream a couple of weeks ago called Blue Peter Totalizer. And if you search Google Images for Blue Peter Totalizer, it might just be me actually, but if you search Google Images for Blue Peter Totalizer and you scroll down, look who that is. It's me telling everybody I'm going to make building a Blue Peter totalizer. But see, if you click it, I never did. That's a lie. That's just a lie. Do you ever get that where you're working on something so niche that when you Google it, it's only yourself that comes up? It's very frustrating. It's happened to me about 3 or 4 times. So I don't want to litter the internet and also litter my own search results with my face, because I don't want people associating my face with lies. You know what I mean? So for that reason, I just decided to just mash the keyboard. And I think that stream titles, I won't actually call it what I intend to do. I think I'll just be sort of expressive with stream titles from now on. Umir418 says, what accent is this? It's the best bloody goddamn accent in the world is what it is. Shame there's not an NHS for pets. That should definitely be a thing. There should be an NHS for humans, but they're trying to get rid of that, man. It's very good you have a decent, honest, upfront vet. That takes a lot of pressure off. Now that we know all the hidden stuff for the get-go. Well, I didn't know the hidden stuff for the get-go. I don't think they tried to defraud me or anything. I just see right in the first consultation when they're talking about lymph nodes and ultrasounds and all of that, you're kind of thinking about loads of different things. So I'm sure in that consultation they did tell me, by the way, it'll cost this plus this plus this, and it probably just went in one ear and out the other, because I'm just like pure stun locked thinking about the future. So what I can say is this number is very realistic now, and thank you very much everybody who has supported so far. Some folk have chucked in a load of money, and so thank you very much. This is indeed live, 100%. English is my third language, says Umir, and not to be disrespectful, but I can't understand a thing he's saying. Understand this? The reason you can't understand me is because I'm from Scotland, and internationally, I will try and speak very properly here, but internationally, people don't allow Scottish people to talk internationally. Name me some Scottish characters. Groundskeeper Willie isn't voiced by a real Scottish person. All the Mike Myers characters isn't voiced by a real Scottish person. Rowdy Roddy Piper, not Scottish either. Etc. Highlander, not Scottish. For some reason, our accent has been blocked from the world stage. For some fucking reason. Even though we fucking probably invented that stage. Alright? So, if cunts are like that, I can't fucking understand that cunt. They wanna. We Shed, welcome in. We Shed, it's my actual da. We Shed, how you doing? Welcome into the channel. Shadow Band, the whole culture, 100%, man. Aye, right, Stevie boy, right on, right on. So, see if any Scottish person does actually make it, right, and gets to an international status, what do? They make him change his voice, like Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre had to go to elocution lessons to round off the jaggy bits of his voice. So now he talks like all the other ones, or these actors that used to be decent, just talking like a normal guy, and now they talk like the international guy. I can't even do it. It's a disgrace, is what it is. If I can watch The Wire, and maybe at first I don't fully understand what's going on, but see if I just lean forward a wee bit and try, after a few minutes I'm tuned into exactly what's being said in Baltimore, right? If I can do that, then all they cunts can fucking do that for me. Am I going mental? When I'm watching The Wire on a television that we fucking invented, and yet we're not allowed to use our actual real voice. Disgusting, man. Disgusting! Anyway. And then, right, if a Scottish actor does get a good part, they'll fucking probably make him speak English. Mental, innit? Mental. Fox Comedy, you go fuck yourself, man. Fox Comedy called me a Brit the other night. You go fuck yourself. Gibbs, could you deal with this agitator? Fucking hell. How come they dull down everyone's accent for TV, yet Billy Connolly's still a big Glasgow guy and is internationally famous? I know. Everyone's mental. Hellish. So there we go. That's made me feel something there. I feel alive again. There's just a lot of nonsense happening in the world. And you forget that systematically our voice has been trampled. Anyway. Ogden Blick says, good news, 4-day weekend from tomorrow because I'm going to be 45 and I do not work on my birthday. Ogden Blick, that sounds dynamite. A 4-day weekend? That sounds dynamite. If you're just in, we're talking about what crisps are good. Then after this, what we're going to do as a full group, we are going to go through all the internet culture of Scotland. Disgusting! Morning! I'm absolutely full of crisps. Pump this egg! Etc. And we are going to find as original source as we can get for all these things. And I'm going to try and set them up so that if I press a button, you see it on this screen. I think that would be fucking cool, man. I think that would be pretty cool. Do you think that would be pretty cool? That'd be pretty cool. The posh Irish voice that still appears on RTE TV in Ireland is so atrocious, and it's only for Irish people, but still been influenced by the BBC. It's mental, innit? Blind Boy has spoken extensively about that. We've kinda got a version here, as you know, because you're here, because you're sort of one of us as well. But sorta. But it's mental, isn't it? See if they just let people speak, then other people can hear that voice, and the more you hear the voice, you then tune into what it is, isn't it? And that's how it happens. Anyway. First time I saw, I was like, oh, what was that? That was a regional accent. Was on Big Brother. Remember the start of Big Brother? Day 42 in the Big Brother house. Or I obviously can't do the voice. That was very offensive, and I don't mean to be offensive. But I was like, what the fuck? I was a normal guy. Did you hear that? Wait a minute. Sure. Did you hear that? I was a normal guy they've allowed on the telly. Fair enough, you don't get to see his face, right? But we will work our way up. My God, man. Anyway. Good news, says Base Embrace. Updated my phone to iOS 26 and have all my icons. Also have you on the big telly. Oh, aye, Base Embrace got me in the big telly. Let me have a wee look about your house. Oh, aye. Oh, aye. I would change that a wee bit. And I'd get a fire extinguisher for that. And that's alright, just make sure you keep it clean. Very nice, very nice. Anybody else got me in the big telly? I love being on the big telly. Who was it that sent me a video about 3 years ago? And it was quite a nice house. It looked like quite a big sort of, maybe a London townhouse or something like that. Like quite a large house. And they were at one side of the house, and it was like a party, like a private party. So maybe about 20 people, but they had like coloured lights and a DJ and stuff. It was like people dancing. And they shot backed up through a doorway, down a corridor, and into like a wee room, like the other side of this massive house. And in the wee room was my face on a big telly. They just fucked off the party and were sitting watching me live on Twitch. I thought it was cool. I can't remember who sent me that. I'll need to find it. But that was really good. Sorry, I'm getting emails about my pay. HR. Right. I have updated to iOS 26 on my phone, and other than my phone going roasting, it's actually pretty good, man. I like it. A lot of people are hating it and saying it's terrible, and people on Twitter are moaning like fuck. I think it's alright, other than the fact that my battery now only lasts about 20 minutes and my phone gets roasting. And do you know what's mental? See, when your phone's roasting, it doesn't let you charge it. When your phone's too hot, you plug it in to get it charged, and it says, this phone is too hot to charge, please cool it down. So I need to wait until the battery totally depletes, then the temperature cools down because it's no on, and then it'll charge again. But other than that, it's quite good. Here, who likes this? Who likes this cup? Look at that, it's an interesting cup, isn't it? Look at that logo, one of the best ones. If you want to buy this cup, you can at 1030.co.uk. And if you're a Twitch sub, you get a substantial discount as well. So that's cool, isn't it, if you think about that? Tomato flavoured crisps are banging. They are. Hello Cherry Burns, hello Stevie Boy, hello Rewild, welcome in, how you doing? And so it turns out Jerry for Tom and Jerry are sound. So that's good, isn't it? Looks like a canteen cup. It's metal. Listen to that. I've never had a cup like this before. And it looks like the print on it is going to be absolutely solid. So I'm quite happy with this. When did they last make wheat crunchies? I couldn't tell you. I don't know, mate. I'm a wee bit behind in chat. I love that cup. Well, tell you what, you can get yourself one at 1030.co.uk. Even that is metal. Be really good for like camping and that. I think what I'm going to do is put a sticker on the bottom with like a QR code on it that takes you to like a amusing place. Anyway, Descos are good, man. Wee bit of cheese and Descos are really good. Tarantula Lansbury says, someone I knew worked at the Unilever factory where they make Magnums. They somehow managed to fuck up the M logo, so a big batch came out upside down, and the nickname Wagnum. That's good. I hope they're still called Wagnum to this day. Google the illusion of choice. Everything is just 5 companies. It's mental, isn't it? And Unilever seem to be one of them. But listen, credit to Jerry from Ben and Jerry for having principles. Aldi buffalo chicken burrito flavoured crisp. There's a lot of things in it. A lot of words before the word crisp. But jaded giraffe, that sounds good. Look at that. Did I just say Jerry for Tom and Jerry? Did I just say that? I haven't slept very well for the past couple of days, man. So I had Fred at the vet yesterday, but the night before I didn't sleep a wink. I was about to say I didn't sleep a week, which shows you the state of my brain just now. And then last night didn't sleep very much as well. He's not eating his food, but it'll be fine. So I put a wee bit of peanut butter on top of his biscuits, and then he actually started turning into his biscuits. Right, what I'm going to do is take a screenshot of all your suggestions of Scottish memes, right? It's not memes as much as it's funny wee videos. And I've saved them there, and then we can go in, we can have a wee look, and we can see if we can find them. But thank you very much for your contributions. I'm absolutely full of crisps. Hocus pocus, there's pizza on your focus. I've never heard of that. Oh, I'm on the night shift. It's good, but it's a work of fiction. Oh no, unless somebody did reference it, didn't they? Anyway, today in the chat we found out Mary Biscuits is actually Scottish. So that's cool. Wee bit more respect for you than I already had. Would best explain what Scotland is. You see, the land doesn't end at Carlisle like some maps would suggest. Yes. It's kind of like, you know, these flat earth guys that are like, oh, the ice wall, right? Some English folk might think that the north exists, but see, beyond what you know is the north, it opens up, man. There's like a full other world of potential and possibilities and handsome people. Is don't put your weight on it considered a meme? I'm not too sure if I'm familiar with it, Monster or... I don't know. Mike Almond, are you a secret Scottish person as well? Look at yous. Look at yous. No wonder he's kept it quiet, considering you're down there and that. But I didn't know that. Look at any other secret Scottish people in. I'm from the capital of the Highlands. I'm as Scottish as it gets. Really? beneath the headphones. I think I knew that before though, maybe. Please teach me my missing culture. Well, it looks like that's what we need to do today. Unless I get distracted, I think that's what we're going to do today. Is Miss Aloha 2012? I'm unsure if I know about Miss Aloha 2012. So this will be a two-way thing. So maybe I will, I think I need a new mouse, by the way. And we'll see how it goes. Burniston Butcher, welcome in, how you doing? Let me type in Miss Aloha 2012. How do you redo? Oh, you can't do redo in Notes. Can I do redo? Burniston Butcher, thank you very much for subbing. Welcome in. What's even happening? Thank you very much. Oh, the nuclear attack one. Head north. That guy. Oh yeah, can't you? That's a slice of ham. That's really good. Well, it was one. Right, anyway, so we need to, instead of me just saying all this stuff out loud, I need to be in here and copy paste all of this, and we will try and figure it all out. Where are we? Where are we in chat? I'm a wee bit confused here. Like the wee guy singing about shortbread. Aye, that's good. So does it start here? What about a use alright? I think it does. And so we'll just scroll down and copy. Nothing against Drew McIntyre with his voice, right? He did what he had to do. But what's his chops for ICW said that they made him change his accent, which is mental, isn't it? I suppose that's when he was on a break taking all the steroids and stuff, because Drew McIntyre looked like a wee 15-year-old guy for ages, and then he came back and he looked like a WWF champion, and I think it was during that point they sort of filed his voice down as well. Anyway, Breathe Headphones says, here I'm not from down there, I just moved down there, as in one of yous. Aye, alright. Be good if we could mark keys somehow so that I know, do you know what I mean? Maybe like I'll insist that all your name colour gets changed or something, just so that I know. Hello John Atfield, welcome in. I don't think I've said hello to you. How's it going, man? Right, where are we? Are there many Welsh memes? I'm unfamiliar with Welsh memes. Right, where are we? I'm behind in chat because I've had to copy paste stuff. The guy behind Jackie Bird on the Hugman A show, aye. And then after that, they don't live record Hugman A shows. I work with the team that does the graphics for that. Maybe one day it'll be me that's doing the live graphics, even though it isn't live anymore on Hugman A. I went to a fight the other night and an ice hockey game broke out midway. That's good. Is that like a Stephen Wright joke? I went to a fight the other night and an ice hockey game broke out midway. Seems very Stephen Wright. The lost media I'm really sad about is the really Americanised We're for Fife tourist song video. Gary Black, I think I've seen that. It should exist, innit? How much did that fresh Rolex set you back an hour? An hour? I mean, Mary Biscuits has been got sort of famous on Blue Sky, but I don't know if you would call that a meme. I don't know if that would be a Welsh meme. If you Google this stream's title, you get a 0.1 second YouTube video of a girl doing a funny face. Really? So I'm not the first person to have typed Let's have a wee look. Twitch.tv/1030. I literally just mashed the keyboard. Oh, aye. What that? I typed in Fuggluberduf. Who are you? That's good, isn't it? Do you want to see something mental? probably shouldn't be talking about this, but I got a wee fright today. Woke up, right, and I'm leaving Twitter because it's sort of inexcusable now, even more so than ever before. Oh, has he deleted it? Oh, he's deleted it. There was a guy who atted me with just mental messages. I've screenshotted them all though, just in case he sort of comes after me. Do you want to see them on my phone? Because it looks like he deleted them. But I think it's maybe somebody that isn't in a good frame of mind or whatever. So if I go to... I see if they're still in this version of my Twitter. Nah, I think he deleted them. So I think maybe he's sobered up. But just in case, like, I'm killed. I looked into it. He's not from around here. He's from California. Ah, no. I saved photos of him, but I didn't save photos of the actual tweets. But it was somebody who I think is on some serious hallucinogens or going through a really heavy mental health thing, and who seems to be like heavy racist and stuff as well, because I was just looking through all his stuff. So he atted me at 10:30 with like a couple of screenshots of tweets that I've previously posted, but they weren't in any order or anything. There wasn't a common theme. With like mad rambles. The rambles didn't make sense. There was like racial slurs and stuff littered around the rambles, and I understood what every word was in isolation, but the sentence just didn't. It was all caps, and it was all just like wah 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 wah. I'm like, alright. So I just thought it was some AI thing. Like a bot had screenshotted my tweets and then added some random text, and it was just like thinging it out. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I just clicked on his profile, and I'm scrolling down, and like a couple of weeks ago he screenshotted one of my tweets with just like mad violent but nonsensical, like to the point like I'm like, this isn't a threat. The guy clearly, you know what I mean? But then interspersed with all of this, there's like photos of him. He's heavily tattooed, but like nice tattoos, like expensive looking like it looks as if he's got his shit together. He's got like expensive hats and stuff like that. Blah 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 blah. But like racist rants. But like not a theme. It's not as if he was a MAGA guy, not as if he was some definitely American, right? And then I'll scroll down and there's just a screenshot of my face. And I'm like, oh. I'm scrolling down. A month ago he just tweeted 10:30. I'm like, right. So evidence. I'm like, evidence. See if I disappear. Look at this guy. But he's in America, and it looks as if he seems to be unable to just... Lots of drug paraphernalia, just like bongs, loads of weed, photos, all of this sort of stuff. But his real name was there. So I'm like, okie dokie, real name. And lots of photos of him. And I know how to do detective shit on the internet, right? I'm really good at it. I'm really, really good at it. So I pure found his address, found out exactly his mum's name, which I won't say, but I know his mum's name. It's quite a unique name. And in some of the rambles that he was doing, he's mentioning that unique name, which I now know is his mum. And it was making me a wee bit worried for her. And I'm just like, oh, for fuck. And then I went back to sleep. And so I thought, I'll show them on stream. See if I can just find the account, see if even the account exists. Because he's got a unique first name. Right? Is that what? Oh, he's locked his account. These posts are protected. So I won't dox who it is. But I learned enough in that short amount of time. And hello if you're watching, you creepy bastard. The internet, I think, is the best and worst thing that we've ever done. But if you are watching, I know exactly who you are. I was thinking about phoning your mum. Just for a laugh. I've got 3 international calls. I was thinking about phoning your mum. Because I did that with somebody before. Somebody was calling me all sorts on the internet. Like racist stuff. And like within minutes, I found his full address and shit like that. And I phoned up his mum. I was like, hello, is your son such and such? Aye. See you on the internet? What? I'm like, right. I just told her. I changed my voice. On the internet, he said this, that, and whatever. Oh, God. And she hung up. So I don't know. Didn't want to phone back. But I think it's quite funny that, like, you can... This sort of hard, racist, sort of hooligan thug guy can very easily be found and you just phone his ma. It's brilliant, isn't it? But I'm a wee bit worried about this one's ma. But I've just saw that he's protected all his tweets. So not really much I can do now. For this instance, like, I wasn't offended at anything he said or whatever. I was more just like, alright. It did look like an AI account who's just like picking at things. But the more that I read it, and then I found his other accounts, I found his TikTok and I found his Instagram account quite easily. And it is a real guy. It is a real guy. But he's lots of depictions of him taking different hallucinogens, and he's got that much weed paraphernalia. I don't think it's just weed that he's smoking. I think he's into, like, you know, the mad high-end weed, like doing dabs and stuff. With the black stuff and the butane torches. The stuff that's just like, it'll like fucking burn holes in your brain. All of that sort of... I know people that are into that. Aye. It's a bit too intense for me. If I smoke just a regular joint right now, I'm terrified of my own skin. Never mind something like that. Anyway, so I think what's likely happened is he's not been in a good mindset. Because he didn't really say anything offensive to me. It was mainly just nonsensical. I was just like, alright. And it seemed that he was just clutching like a collage of things he was looking at. Here's 4 images from my camera reel, and here's a big rant about something unrelated. Scrolling, and like he's posting maybe 50 times an hour for the past 6 months. 0 likes, man. Nobody's following him. Like nothing. Absolutely nothing at all. So it's interesting. NH Henry Twitch just asked me if I want to send that message. Yes. I know somebody who London wanted them to have a TV show, and they were like, alright, and then London asked them to soften their accent a bit. They're like, what? Sorry, could you repeat yourself? I said what? What's a whip? He's saying whip. Fucking nonsense, man. Anyway. 10:30's on in the chill out room, 100%. I need to find that video again. Spogger says my phone has never done that. Well, my phone got red hot roasting yesterday, and it hasn't done it today, but I think it's just because I'd updated it, so it was maybe just going through and reconfiguring, re-indexing all the files or something like that. I updated the new Mac operating system yesterday, and I couldn't search. I just couldn't search. I had a file in a folder that I knew I wanted, I knew it was there, and it wouldn't show up in search after I updated my operating system. I'm like, this is a problem, I use this every single day. And I had to re-index. I had to set up so that my full drive wasn't indexed, and then wait 10 seconds and then re-index the full drive. So watch out, everybody, if you are updating your Mac operating system. I can't believe I said Tom and Jerry. My brain's not working very well. I haven't slept a lot this week. Please give me a wee bit of leeway here. Wagnum's good, isn't it? These new kettle chips, chili and sour cream, are unbelievable. All right, we need to get to Aldi then and try the buffalo chicken burrito flavoured crisp. See if I get some. I will do a live taste test on stream, right? Jerry's old enough and rich enough to afford his principles. Aye, I guess you're right. I cannot recall, but does the oscilloscope behind you display anything like the other screens? Amtrek's not automatically. However, I did find a way of wiring it up, but it doesn't do it when it comes to Twitch notifications or anything like that. It's something that I could set up. The graphics that I could put on it would be driven by audio, and it's something that I could do. I've just no done it. But for a wee while, I was generating visuals on it using OSCI render, OSCI render, or maybe the sister application of that, and I figured out how to do it. You need, what is it, like a balanced input or something? No, it's not balanced, it's another type of audio word. And to get the preamp costs you a wee bit of money, otherwise the image can move about. But then I saw a guy, like a Russian guy on YouTube. YouTube video's like 16 seconds long, and he says if you buy this really cheap sound device for like a tenner, swap out this capacitor for that capacitor, it just works. And I was like, I'm going to trust this guy. It's the only point of reference in the full internet. I bought it, I did it, it worked. And I'm like, yes. And then since it worked, I haven't had it switched on. But I was thinking about using it, I don't know if B. Dolan's in, but I was thinking about using it for some sort of music video or something. Because a lot of music videos have been done using this. The first one was by a good friend of mine for Clark Superscope, a guy called Vincent Oliver, who I believe is a mutual with Screwbase Pip as well. And then loads of folk copied him after that. To the point is now DC coupled, that's it right here, thank you very much. So I mean, there's potential there for images to be there. And then, so if I can generate images on that via sound files, all I need to do to sync it up with Twitch notifications and stuff is have those sound files pre-recorded, and then my computer's over here, just have a dedicated sound playback out of a separate audio output of my computer, like just the mini jack on the back or something. And every time there's a Twitch notification, a sound file plays that, goes through my DC coupled preamp into the thing, and you will see graphics. So maybe at some point we will do that on stream, because it's already there, already set up. I don't need to buy anything, it'll just take a couple of hours. So apparently Mano Meso tortilla crisp thingies are cracking. Olive and Machengo fancy crisps. Here, you've put me in the mood for crisps. Pepper, you doing okay, pal? Pepper, do you want to come and speak to everybody? Pepper doggy, where are you then? You a good wee dog? Pepper doggy, come on then. Where are you? Where are you? Eh? Hiya. She just walked out the room. She's not interested in me at all. Hello, Carla. Carla says, good news, I've booked a holiday for my upcoming birthday so that I can run away from getting older. Very excited to get some more vitamin D now that the weather has changed. Amazing, Carla. Well, you say that, I was out earlier on and very sunny. It's back to being sunny here. Jiro Beam Federison created oscilloscopemusic.com, and he is kind of like the master of oscilloscope visuals. And then the software that I use for this is by James Hall. Was that Echo Thump? Echo Thump, how you doing? Thank you very much. Thanks, 1030. Echo Thump, thank you. Welcome in, Echo Thump. How's it going? There's this software called OSCI Render, and it's good. So that's what I was using to make visuals on my oscilloscope. It's cool gear, man, and it's quite cheap. It's like $20 or something, and if you've got that, $40 for the premium one. But like, I don't know, do you know what I mean? I think I'm grandfathered into it because I got it a couple of years ago. I didn't pay any more than $20. But this is a very easy way of making oscilloscope visuals and musics and stuff. Hello, Roscoe. Roscoe says, good news, I started a fake ultra stoner online multi-platform persona to be problematic and people are falling for it. It's fucking weird, man. It was dead weird. I wish I'd screenshotted the actual tweets, but he's locked them. But I've got saved photos of his head. And it's some fucking dome, man. Let me tell you that. Welcome in, Roscoe. I hope you're doing good. Where are we? Fred has cancer. Aye, Burniston Butcher. Aye. So we're nearly there in terms of... So it's lymph cancer, which isn't great. Lymph nodes. So by January, I need to raise 4,900 quid. And this number in the past week or something has changed dramatically because every time I do my sums, I get a different number. But this number is now like verified with the vet. I went in yesterday with like a printout of a spreadsheet. And I'm like, could you check my sums for me, please? She's like, well, that's wrong. That'll be an extra 500 quid. That, you haven't included VAT in that. Blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, right. I originally thought it was going to be £5,200 for the full thing, and my insurance would pay 4,000 of that. So I'm like, aye man, go for it, give him everything. But now the actual calculation is £8,471 for the full thing, and I have to pay that much. So I'd done a Blue Peter totalizer, and I don't need to pay it all in the one go, which is good. So already you have paid up to November. And see, worst case scenario, I can figure all that out myself. So that is my good news. Do you know what I mean? Is that we've figured out. The bad news is it's a lot more dearer than what I thought it was going to be. But the good news is I now know that number's real. See, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at the weekend there, I was just doing nothing but Doug maths. See, numbers, I'm alright at numbers in certain aspects, but as soon as you put a time and a date in there, or Captain Spork, Jesus Christ, Captain Spork, thank you very, very much for that. It's came up in a currency that I don't know what it is, but it all gets added. Captain Spork, thank you very much for chucking cash to Fred. I appreciate it, thank you very much. So, this weekend I was looking into it, and on Friday I thought we'd raised enough. I thought we'd hit the goal and everything was brilliant. And then I was like, alright, no, this variable is off, that variable is off. So the bad news is it's £500 dearer than what my previous estimate was. But now I know that the good news is that it's correct. So this number here is correct and shouldn't change. Unless we go in and they're like, oh, he needs this extra other thing. But I don't think they would. Captain Spork, thank you very, very much. Also created a fake mum who gave me into fake trouble. It must be some buzz, man. Mary Biscuit says, I loved Radiohead, but no way I'm giving them any money right now. Aye, 100%. I've went off Radiohead. I've spoken about this a wee bit. And like career-wise, I owe quite a lot to Radiohead, because at the start of my career I made a video for them when I was in art school. They put it on their website, and at the start of my career I was doing fucking brilliant for a year or something. And it was in part thanks to that. But Tom York's been like a sneaky wee bastard in regard to just comments on things and stuff. So, earlier this year, I pulled out of a film festival because I didn't want to celebrate. They wanted to show the video that I made. Didn't want to celebrate their music. Colin Greenwood sent me a text years ago that was really cool. And from what I can tell, I think maybe Colin and Ed are both pro-Palestine. And I think Johnny and Tom are more like, well, there are both sides to the, that sort of pish. So, sort of fuck them. You know what I mean? See, See if it was any other band, it wouldn't be as big a deal, but Radiohead consistently have been speaking about politics and speaking like good stuff about politics, about apartheid and, you know, the whole stop the war and Star Wars stuff and all of that sort of stuff. But then in particular, like, they are a political band. They definitely are. Remember, like, the inside the Kid A has got photos of like Tony Blair and all of that. The Iraq War. So you can't say that about that stuff and then say this about this stuff. Goodness me, thank you very much. I've got a Fred Dono in for somebody and their full name has came up, so I won't say your full name in case you don't want that, but thank you very much. I will say RB, somebody with the initials RB. Thank you very, very much for doing that. Roscoe says, ages ago I created a fake guy called Tom York and then created a fake band called Radiohead. I made a big fake career and then rug pulled on everyone recently. Aye, imagine they got into crypto. It's not illegal to make a fake band, ask the Blur guy. Murray Biscuit says, I'm open to them changing their minds, but unless they do, supporting them just feels a bit icky. Aye, 100%, man. 100%. I feel that way. I'm not going to judge other people for liking Radiohead. Like, most of the music that has soundtracked my life have been via Radiohead albums. Radiohead's the only band that like a traditional band with guitars and stuff, that I am into, or was into, but now I can't tell my music playlists. See the algorithm, I'll still be like, alright, check out that song that you've listened to 400 times by The Smile. And I'm like, it's a good song, but I can't anymore. Because every time something good comes on, like Everything in Its Right Place, my favourite track of all time, I think, probably, because I was listening to it at a certain point in my life, right? I think it's brilliant. But when that comes on now, I think about that wee girl that was shot 350 times. And I would rather no think about that shit, man, when I'm trying to do other stuff. So, but I get it, right? See, when you're stinking rich, which they are now, right? They are absolutely loaded. And when you're at that level of money, you're kind of detached from reality a wee bit. And Johnny Greenwood's wife is Israeli and probably one of these secret Mossad agents or something like that. Who knows, man? They're all mental, the politicians over there. The people are probably sound, but politically, the defence strategies they've got of putting people in certain places and all of that. So maybe they've been drip fed a lot of pish from people. I don't know, but what I do know is I don't want to listen to their music until they come to their senses, personally. I'm not judging anybody else, man. Getting through life is hard enough, right? Without somebody preaching to you. Goodness me, mate. We've got a bubble scenario. Docto, thank you very, very much. Docto, thanks for giving us up to Pezabeth, to Squaretail, to Bridge of Donkeys, to Steglosaurus, and to Soft Mick. It's raining bubbles, it definitely is. I need to put better batteries in this. Docto, that was really cool. You thanks for gifting all these subs. If I've just said your name there, please feel free to thank Docto. If you happen to currently be in the chat. I don't have a towel, Mary Biscuits, because I used to use the towel to wipe my face, but then I got a skin condition, so I had to re-angle the bubbles because it was literally corroding my skin. So because we've got kitchen roll, but you know what, maybe we just have it dangling. I need to fix that though, otherwise I'll stand up and fucking slip and break my neck. So I need to fix the puddle that's underneath. So you're quite right about that. Docto, thank you very much, that was really cool. My god. Somebody tried to cancel me a couple of years ago because I played the Radiohead game on stream. and fucking big Twitter posts about how 1030's a Nazi and all of that sort of stuff. So, like, I get it, man. Getting through life can be hellish sometimes without somebody taking your favourite songs away for you and doing all this stuff and everything else. Show the bubble puddle. I've already cleaned it up. Also, I can't show you it without you seeing my feet, and I don't give my feet away for free on the internet. So who knows about things? Avgas says, I see it kind of like we all have access to a huge library that is open 24/7 but is gatekept by people who cannot read and are just there to use a bathroom and get out of the rain. You talking about the internet, Avgas? Aye. It's mental. Mental. I don't want my gums getting poked. It's good, Mary Biscuits. Try McCoy's. They're rigid as well. Sort of corrugated crisps. They're good. You must have McCoy's. Have you... See all yous that are down there? Have you got McCoy's crisps? Should be into it. Aye, okay, good. Well, you know what I'm on about then. We have a wee mouse we're trying to catch living under the house, and I can't stop thinking of Tom and Jerry. A good mouse strategy, right? Obviously, don't kill the wee guy, because wee mice, right? But here's the way I would do it. And this doesn't work if you've got other pets, but it can become quite a fun challenge, but it can also drive you mad, because I know what it's like. So what you get is a bucket, not a cannabis smoking bucket. How do I up my... Aye, that'll be fine, that'll do. So you get a bucket like this. I went to art school, right? Right. Bucket. Okie dokie. Look at that, that's good. And then you get a paint roller. Like this. And a paint roller. Let's get the wee bit coming off it like that. This isn't drawn to scale. And so you secure the paint roller to the side of the bucket. Right? And you don't put like the fluffy bit of the paint roller on, but you still make sure it can rotate. And then what you do is you set this up and you put lots of peanut butter on this bit of the paint roller. Not lots of peanut butter, but enough peanut butter. Here, right? And then what happens is a wee mouse is going about his business. As a mouse, right? His wee ears, oh, and his wee tail, his wee feet. Beep. Beep. So then he's going about his business. Oh, how do you make the background colour? Is it right click? I'll do a right and left click, right? I bet it still doesn't work. How do you make a colour? The background colour, please. Background colour, make it happen. Copilot. I don't want Copilot. I want to change the that background colour should be like that now, shouldn't it? But then if I do that, no, it's white underneath. How do you do that? See, back in my day, that would all be fine, but it's changed. Anyway, the point is the wee mouse is running about looking for nutrients and that, and he goes, oh, I smell some delicious peanut butter up here. I'm going to... And here's the thing as well, you need to have some sort of easy way for him to like get up there, right? So there needs to be like some form of like a ramp or something. Why can't I do this now? There needs to be like some form of ramp for him to go up. So that he's like, beep, beep, beep. Oh aye, oh I smell that, oh that's delicious. And he climbs up here, has a wee bit of peanut butter, bang, falls into the bucket. Doof. And he'll probably chew through the bucket. He'll probably chew through the bucket if it's plastic, but you just need to be on top of it. And that is my way of... I've abducted maybe 3 or 4 mice doing that. So... you need to really take them far away from your house to set them free, otherwise they'll come back because they're really good at that. So I'm not judging anybody that still likes Radiohead, but I just can't, man. I absolutely can't. Personally. I hope for indoor fireworks when the goal is reached. I wonder what we need to do if and when this goal is reached. My dwarfer says, good news, I'm off to Bruges on the weekend with some friends for some much needed time off. Looking forward to some beers, cycling and going to a Belgian Pro League football game. That's amazing. I want to watch In Bruges again, it was really good. Dearie me. I'm hoping for them changing their minds, but unless they do, supporting them just feels icky. Aye, somebody texted me, just like, alright, did you manage to get Radiohead tickets? And I was like, no for me anymore. Moonshaped Pool was great, man. See, all the Smile stuff, really good as well. But, well. Once again, Docto, thank you very much for your kindness, Docto. Bubble Glut. Saw Tom York do a solo thing back at the Big Chill Festival, and it was incredibly dull and really preachy. That was when I started to tune out of him. I don't know, I've got time for him being preachy if I agree with the stuff that he's preaching about. And I have all my life. But this one particular thing's kind of like a deal breaker for me. So, guy can spin, man. Anyway, one of those classic streamer room bubble puddles, I know. My grandpa he served in the Scots Guards. He helped people for a living as well. He was like a really good social worker and all of that. He was a policeman in London in the 60s. And left a really good police job because he was asked to beat up gay people, and in principle he'd left and all of this sort of stuff. He was an amazing man and did loads of good work and stuff. Me, I clean up bubble puddles for a living on the internet. It just shows you though, doesn't it? It just shows you. I'm glad yous have got McCoys. We have 2 humane box traps but nothing yet. Cool. Aye, maybe just get actual traps rather than go through all the rigmarole of paint buckets and things. Mary Biscuit says, I caught a rat once by leaning a bowl up on some beans with a long string attached and a camera pointing at it, then pulled the string for the next room. That's fucking cool. That's really cool. It's like Wallace and Gromit. Might be the best thing I've ever done. Did you record it? Wait till you hear about the fake grandpa I created who worked in the Scots Guard. Dearie me. The bubble puddle is now has made my sock all wet, and I'm sitting here and I've got sort of wet socks. Well, one wet sock. See the stress and the suffering I need to go through to bring you top quality, amazing entertainment. What you do is you get a dog and you train them to kill mice. Well, I don't like killing in general. Unless it's like midges or something, they can get to fuck. But anything bigger than this, I don't like to kill it. Unless it's a wasp, they can get to fuck. But anything else. I read a thing about evolution of rat poison a while ago. It was bleak but really interesting. Aye. Have you tried to pronounce purple burglar alarm? I haven't ever tried to pronounce purple burglar alarm because Scottish people can't say that. I read a thing about I've just read that rat poison sounds fucking stinking. We can't ever use pesticide, rat poison, anything like that, obviously, because we've got dogs. Copilot and paint, I know. Here, will we try it? I've never tried Copilot before, right? So let's open Paint, right? And let's say I did want to draw an illustration of a bucket with a paint roller on it in order to trap a mouse, right? That's exactly when I might use AI. I might be like, hey, could you make me this thing? So do I want to click this on stream? See if I click this on stream, will it show you like all my emails, my browsing history and all that sinful stuff? Fuck it. Image creator. Aye, create stunning images with just here, you know what? Maybe all this time I've been harsh towards Copilot. I bet you will do this and it'll just work brilliant. Who thinks this will just obviously work brilliant? Right, image creator, let's go for it. Sign in. Nah, chase yourself. An account is required. Chase your fucking self. You go fuck yourself. I'll just draw my own buckets from now on, will I? Sign in. Aye, right. Have you seen that quite soon you're going to have to verify your ID on Twitch, just like the wanking thing? Have you seen that? Now you need a wank license if you're in the UK now, and you need to like show it your face and stuff. I think that Twitch is going that way now. And in America, after that guy with the big head got domed recently, the president has quite rightly asked the CEOs of major social media companies to voluntarily come in, and they can have a big conversation about the threat of radicalization online. And that's brilliant, because people getting radicalized online happened to a mate of mine, right? And I think it's good to be aware of people getting radicalized online, right? However, it's all a lot of shite, because he didn't invite in Elon Musk, and Twitter is where everything's happening. And he didn't invite the broccoli guy, what's he called? CGI. The Facebook guy, didn't invite him either. But he did invite Gabe Newell, who isn't in charge of social media. He's in charge of Steam, where people play games, and you can't really talk to each other, never mind radicalise people. And he also invited that guy, what's he called? The main guy for here, I should know his name. Twitch CEO. Clancy. This guy.
1030 raid.
Welcome in, 1030s.
Welcome in, 1030s. Appreciate the raid.
He's a smart guy. Well, no, I think he is a GPU.
Not him.
He's an AI.
No, he's
an AI
Scottish.
GPU.
He's Scottish.
He's a Scottish AI GPU.
Yeah, I can do a good Scottish accent. Check this out.
Oi, I'm the demo man.
Anyway. So this guy, Dan Clancy, has been invited to talk to the president because of the threat of radicalization on Twitch. For what I've seen, you do get a couple of bangers on Twitch, Zaffer Cakes, etc. But compared to, and this isn't whataboutism, but like they didn't invite Kick, the Kick CEO on, and the Kick website is like Twitch, but for like baddies. And not baddies as in she a baddie, baddies as in like bad people. Like a baddie. What's a baddie? I'm using old guy patter. Like Shredder for the Turtles, that sort of baddie. So the actual places where hate manifests typically are fine. They're alright. They're not invited in. They've got away with it. But then other places where folk are voicing their opinions and propagating information and stuff, they're at target. So that's good, isn't it? But anytime something like this happens, there will be an erosion of civil liberties because it'll be spun. Just like 9/11. Remember 9/11 made the... Never forget. Almost forgot this year. Never did though. And then the Patriot Act came in and all that sort of stuff. Roscoe says, I was standing at the back door at Glee recently smoking, and a rat ran right past me. In the door, I looked at a rent-to-kill trap and went, nah, you're all right, and ran back out the door. That's class, man. I was on the London Underground once. This is going back about 10 years ago. Hello, Cudder, how you doing? I've just nicked your patter. And I've been caught. See that she a baddie thing? That was Cudder's patter. I tried to steal that without attribution. And Cudder, who's probably really busy right now, just went fucking... like that. You've successfully claimed your patter. I tried to just steal that without credit, Cudder. Do you know what I'll do as way of compensation? Give a wee shout out there. Do you know what I mean? Safe. Stolen patter, 100%. Beamer. I was on the London Underground about 10 years ago, and doors opened. 2 rats got on. But they knew the system, man. So they got on, didn't really venture further into the carriage, but they got on, turned round to face the door and waited till the door closed. The train went maybe 3 or 4 stops, and they waited, just let everybody past, like that, everybody back on, yep, like that. Waited again, got to their stop, the door opened, and they scurried off. It was amazing. They knew how to use it better than I did. I was happy to see the clarification. Patter for all. Is this a shared patter lexicon? Maybe, right. Aye, cool. Mutual respect then. Cool, man. Cool. Probably off to Westminster, am I right? Spot on, Tarantula Lansbury. Deary me. I've seen pigeons do that in the subway in New York. It was amazing. Aye, no tickets. Bet they, aye. Do you know who doesn't pay for tickets? Rats. So maybe that's who they were. Used to brag about how it killed within 2 bites and stuff like that, but they found out the rats got wind of what happened to Steve, so now they make it really tasty, but not immediately lethal. So Steve takes it home to the wife and kids. I don't want to really think about rodent killings, I'll be honest with you, man. Mulvad VPN has started advertising on buses over here. Never thought I'd see them advertising. Out of all the VPN services, I think Mulvad seems to be the less bad one. I looked into it. I made a wee tutorial a couple of weeks ago when all of this was kicking off. Most of the other VPNs are owned by Israel. Did you know that? Mulvad seems to be the least bad of all of them. Mulvad is the only VPN company that got raided and couldn't hand over anything because they didn't have anything to hand over. So I don't know if they're bulletproof, I don't know if they're perfect, but out of all of them, Mulvad seems to be a good option. If anybody's looking for VPN stuff. And you can get there, not a sponsor. However, I was considering... Kablam, how you doing? Welcome in, Kablam. Thank you very much for the Bubble Blast. Thanks for the sponsor. My head's fucked. Thanks for the sub. Kablam, how you doing? Welcome in. When the wank license came in, I had people asking me, what is a VPN? How do I get set up with this sort of stuff? Like folk DMing me because they didn't want to ask publicly. And I'll be like, right, okay, I'll try and find the best one. And there's a lot of VPNs who have got affiliate links. So for people that are on YouTube or Twitch or whatever, if I recommend this particular one and you sign up to it, I get cash. So I was like, oh, I'll try and find one that's good but has an affiliate link. Turns out they're kind of all horrible, man, except from this one, which doesn't have an affiliate link, Mulvad, Mullvad. And if you don't want to get a wank license, and there's many reasons why you shouldn't, I don't trust the government or a third-party company to keep a database of me and my sexual preferences, right? I've got nothing to hide. But still, it's private. When I go to the toilet, I've got nothing to hide. People know exactly what happens there, but it's still private, you know? So similarly, for certain things on the internet or whatever, I might want a VPN. Be wary of people selling you VPN. Use such and such at discount code at checkout, all of that. But if you're looking for one, I'd recommend that this one is the least evil of all that I've found. You can even pay for it. So don't go for a free one, because a free one isn't secure, right? Johnny TK, thank you very much for the sub. Welcome in. Don't go for any of the other ones that, if you search for them, are owned by Israel for various reasons. Some people think that it's an Israeli military tactic to... What the fuck's happening there? To gather compromise and blackmail on people. And if that was my strategy and I wanted to do that en masse a civilian population, I might be interested in setting up multiple VPN companies. I'm not saying that's what's happening, but of all the countries, I don't want them looking at all it. Anyway, so these guys seem to be cool. I'm not getting paid for this. I've got no interest in this at all, but they seem to be cool, man. If you don't, so you do need to pay for it, but it's reasonably priced, and you can pay for it just by sending cash in the post, which means that you don't have to. You can pay for it via conventional means, but they're the only ones where you can just send them cash in an envelope, and they will figure that out in order to provide you a service, so that there isn't a bank trail, a paper trail leading back to you. So that's kind of cool, isn't it? Do they have a Canary page? Do you know what? I don't know if they do. Mulvad Canary. I don't know if they do. Why is there no warrant canary at Mulvad? Two main reasons. Firstly, the country they're based, they don't really need one. Aye, but we need one. That's a good question. Here is a Reddit post on why they don't have a canary. But I think they still should. Remember, Google's canary just vanished. I'm playing Skate 4 right now and it's pretty radical. It's free, isn't it? Is it free on Epic or something? It wasn't the president, it was a banned Twitch streamer who went Republican congressman to have a congressional hearing. I see. Everything seems mental over there now. Did you see, in the middle of loads of things they're trying to distract us from, that new Roswell photos have emerged? Just coincidentally, did you see that? And in these new Roswell photos, if you zoom in, you can kind of actually see the bodies of what look like two aliens if you squint hard enough, and if that's what you're looking for. 84% of political violence has been done by the right wing since 1990. A recent DOJ study they just deleted from the DOJ website. That sounds like a System of a Down, like a spoken bit before it kicks in, doesn't it? 84% of political violence has been done by right wing since 1990. Way on by. But I'm mental into it. Test books for October. Amazing Tarantula Lansbury. Blaketown, how you doing? They don't care about right-wing violent radicalisation, specifically want to take down left-wing commentators, and the biggest one currently is on Twitch. It's mental into it. I should watch more Hassan Abbey before they go after him next. I just googled Shiabadi and it responded, do you mean Shiabari? And I now know, thanks to Google, that Shibari means Japanese bondage. Oh, aye. Shiabadi is a track by... What's their name? What's her name again? I don't know enough about this to talk about it. My brain's fucked, man. I've barely... It's music. It's what young people listen to nowadays. Cutter knows all about it. With his Pokemon cards and his young person music. There's zero good face intent in what they're doing. One of the biggest downfalls today is to be arguing with somebody on the internet, assuming that they're arguing back in good faith. But nowadays, man, folk are just at it absolutely everywhere. A Twitch shout out is like a Harvard reference on this platform, 100%. Paying off Cutter with exposure. Listen, it's the least I could do. Well, the least I could do would just be to not credit him at all. But here we are. Picture them wearing ties and holding briefcases. That's a different type of rat. Deary me. Where are we? You've seen pigs doing it in Stockholm? They only drip feed me internet, but I'm happy to share my 3 megabit download. Alright. Is internet bad in Ireland? Here, everybody, I have saved tons of money, right? My mobile phone bill was, I spoke about this recently, I upped my mobile phone bill to be like the best that it could be, because I used to stream when I was out and about. And a couple of years ago, I would stream from my phone and it would work. I could be walking about Glasgow, a very densely populated city with infrastructure and all of that sort of stuff. I could be like in the industrial side of the city with TV broadcasting stuff and all of that, and I would get good 5G phone reception, so I could do live streams when I was cutting about. And then all of a sudden it wouldn't do it. I would be getting disconnected and it would be miserable, man, because folk would be getting notifications that I'm live. They would go and see it and I'm no live, or I'd be chatting away thinking that it's all working fine and it didn't work fine. So I'm like, fuck, I need to buy a new phone or something. So in an attempt to fix that, I upped my mobile phone package to like, right, the best internet one. Don't care about everything else, but see the internet, I want to use this to make money and to do Twitch streams, all of that sort of stuff. Gives good internet, please. So I went to the maximum level. Turns out was nothing to do with my phone tariff, was nothing to do with the phone itself. It was because, and Bowdy in here told me about it, the UK government ripped out Huawei chips that were in 5G towers because of fear that the Chinese would be spying on our communication stuff. So they built all the 5G towers and then ripped out the stuff inside them. And so overnight, I'm now unable to stream. And by that point, by the time I found that out, I'd already upped my mobile phone bill to like the best internet one. So I was paying, and I didn't realise because it went up after like 2 months. I was paying about 45 quid a month. Fucking raging. So I've since learned, that was about 2 years ago, and I was locked into a 2-year contract. So I've now, and it's helping with this, I have switched my mobile phone company to one called Smarty. Any use with one called Smarty? Roscoe's just about to type. I've just created a fake mobile phone company called Smarty. And it's really good. You're with Smarty, how are you getting on? See, for me, so far, it's great. So now I'm paying, there's a fly kicking about. I'm paying just over, I think, a tenner or something. And I've got substantially good internet. And everything else seems to just be the same. I'm really, really happy with it. And then, so I thought, right, well, what about the internet in the house? Because I live stream, so I need good upload speed, right? Particularly sometimes I've been trying to live stream to like multiple different places at the same time. I need good internet, right? I rely on this to pay my bills and stuff like that. I need good internet. So I went on and I'm out of contract with Virgin Media. And guess how much I was paying a month? You don't have to. I was paying just under £100 a month on internet. House internet. That's fucking absolutely ridiculous, man. That is mental. And it never used to be like that. It never used to be like that. So I think what happened was I fell out of contract. So I had signed up a contract for so many months at a rate that I was happy with. And because I fell out of contract, they just upped the number, but without telling me. And somehow they were able to just get into my bank account, and it might have been in like page 16 of a thing that I signed 2 years ago or whatever. So I get that fucking right down, man. I think I've now got it down to about £30 a month or something. So just by switching my mobile phone thing, I'm saving about £30 a month. And then switching the other thing, I think the other thing, I'm now saving about £70 a month. All in. No, not all in. £70 a month on the other one and about £30 a month on that one. I don't know. As I said, numbers, I'm not very good. I'm using just stuff off the top of my head. I can give you the actual numbers if I look into it. So I'm like, Jesus Christ. Wildchook says, is Proton good? I would go with Mulvad over Proton. Proton, I can't remember off the top of my head. Proton got raided once and they gave out files, I think. If it works for you, then that's cool. But if I had to choose one, I would go for Mulvad. Make sure Proton isn't owned by Israel as well. Depending on it, how you want to live your life. But aye, so watch out, everybody. Have a wee look at all your outgoings. So then as soon as I was doing that, I was like, right, what else am I paying, man? What? I can't be having this. So I was giving money to Audible. It wasn't a lot of money. It was like £5 a month or something. But I was like, cancel Audible. Get into fuck. What else? I was giving about £5 a month to this magician guy that I like, who gives magical instruction videos on Gumroad. And I'm like, cancelled that. So I've went and did a whole sweep of subscription cancellations, and it feels good. So I'd recommend you do that. Obviously, if you're subscribed to me, don't, right? Because by giving you tips like this every month, a subscription to me, you're actually saving money. Do you know what I mean? And all of that sort of stuff. So don't, if you're cancelling subscriptions, don't cancel subscriptions to twitch.tv/1030. If anything, move up to like a tier 2 or a tier 3 sub if you want to do that. You're more than welcome to do that, if you think about that. But everything else, man, get it in the bin. Proton are based in Switzerland. Interesting. System of a Down can get fucked and all. They baddies as well. That's brutal. He also designated Antifa a terrorist organisation, but the Klan and Proud Boys aren't. Make of that what you will. It's mental. It's mental, isn't it? What's wrong with being anti-fascist? Is my question there. Don't know. Here's my prediction. Just like what happened with Anonymous, right? Antifa, if it even is a movement, like, which I don't think it is. I think it's just a shorthand for people who are anti-fascist, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But I don't know enough about it. Like, who is the leader of Antifa? I don't think they're organised. It's not as if they have chapters or anything else. But here's my prediction. Something bad will happen. And Antifa will claim responsibility for it. And it'll be that bad that folk are like, oh man, these guys are dicks, man. And either that will happen, or just like Occupy Wall Street and Anonymous and all these other things that have progressed social movements, somebody will install themselves as a leader or a spokesperson for Antifa, and they will be a rat, man. They will be intentionally subverting stuff from the inside because they will be one of them. That's what I reckon will happen with the Antifa thing, if it even is a thing. But even it, like, just the name of it, what is wrong with being anti-fascist? Fascism, as we know, is horrible. So if you're opposed to that, it's a fucking problem, man. Anyway. There are only 4 companies with 4G and 5G spectrum licenses, EE, O2, Vodafone and 3, so no matter the company that you're with, you're going to be using one of their networks. Interesting. So I suppose it's just about getting the best deal that you can within all of that. Smarter uses 3, do they? Cool. I thought they used O2, but I don't know. Remember when the country voted to not have free broadband? Aye. Whatever happened to that Jeremy Corbyn guy? Oh, aye, he got done for being anti-Semitic because he criticised Israel. And oh, look at everything that's happening. Turns out that cunt was right, wasn't he? You know how we went from Jeremy Corbyn at Glastonbury to this situation that we're in just now? They did him rotten, man. And they got away with it. Mental. Absolutely mental. But no, Keir Starmer's doing a good job. Virgin are terrible for bumping prices. It's like insurance. You need to tell them you're leaving every year. Well, 18 months with broadband. Well, I hope. I'm looking at my pet insurance. I'm assuming it's going to be the same next year as it is this year. But this year I've used $4,000 up on it. So I don't know. I don't know if it'll get upped next year. I don't know anything about insurance. So you try to deal with all of this thing for Fred. Oh, God, it was the absolute limit of my knowledge. Virgin Media have me at 75 quid and my contract is up at the end of next month, so I'm switching as soon as I can to someone else that does fibre internet. Cool. Virgin Media do fibre internet, but maybe not to where you live. But if you phone up and do a cancellation, no, I insist. Yes, I'm definitely cancelling. They'll get you right down. How do I know? Because I used to work in the Virgin Media call centres. Vodafone and 3 have merged, so soon there will be effectively 3 choices of network. That's exactly what we need, isn't it? Monoculture. Virgin are always at it, 100%. City Fibre came round my estate last year and they keep winking at me. Don't know. Didn't Virgin Media and O2 recently team up as well? Because in order to investigate my Virgin Media stuff, I had to create a separate O2 account. They're like, link these accounts together and we'll be able to sort your stuff out. I felt very scammed by the full process. What's all your information? So I had to create like an O2 ID, even though I'm not with O2. Full thing seemed honking. Anyway, you're like some kind of money-saving expert. Well, I would never claim I'm an expert on money saving. Look at me. But I know you're right. I'm basically that guy. Ofcom just released a new coverage checker, Map Your Mobile, in June, which shows coverage better than before, and it reviews signal quality over anything else. Oh, decent, Pudmund. System of a Down Drummer is a baddie. Interesting. Relax, it's Mike. See, without going into detail, because it might be grim, are we talking like politics baddie? like Tom York, or are we talking like deviant baddie like Kevin Spacey? Because there is a line, do you know what I mean, somewhere. But without getting any detail, let's keep it light. Or are we talking, remember that other band that can't be named? If you're anti-Antifa, then you're fa. Aye. I'm anti-Antifa, I think. Recently seen a YouTube video mention that Proton have moved to Norway. Interesting. Don't know a lot about Proton. I did read a wee bit, just being like, they were raided before and they've given away stuff. The only people who were raided and came up with nothing was Mulvad. So I went with them. Proton seem to be using YouTubers and influencers to advertise and stuff, which again is just a bit like, don't know. See, if you're with Proton and it works and you've done your research, then you probably know about it more than me. But if I had to pick between the two, I would go for Mulvad currently. But who knows if they'll get corrupted if they aren't already. A lot of Gen Z are quitting all their subscription services and pirating is rising again worldwide. Also, they are just discovering that MP3 players are much better than the Spotify pish. Aye. And listen, see if you do pirate, what I would say is people that make music right now more than ever are fucking skint, man. Spotify, I didn't realise how bad all of that stuff was. But I thought that at least you would get paid per stream on Spotify. Turns out you don't even. So Spotify's kind of like literally like a lottery. So if people are streaming your music, that's not guaranteeing you money. That's guaranteeing you a lottery ticket, like a raffle. So you put that ticket into a pot and then Spotify behind the scenes figures out who's getting paid that month. And all the money they've made on you will go to whoever's won the raffle. And then on top of that, there's like weird bot farm practices that are happening with Spotify. I ended up on like a 3-hour YouTube rabbit hole. It's fucking bad, man. It's really, really bad. And if you want to cancel a musician just now, all you have to do is pay like $20 or something and it can happen to big musicians and stuff as well. You get a bunch of bots to listen to that musician's music, but then you report that musician to Spotify for bot inflation, and like 99 times out of 100 their account will go down and it'll take months to get going back up as well. Spotify are scumbags, man. And at the same time, Tommy Bobbins, how you doing? Welcome in. Thank you very much for the bubbles. Thanks for the sub. Here's your profile picture. If you has one, you don't, Tommy Bobbins. But do you know what? That's fine. Tommy Bobbins, thanks very much for subbing. Welcome in. How you doing? If you're just joining us, we're talking about Spotify. It's bad for people. And the CEO is boasting that he's made like so many billions and stuff. It's like, well, you can afford to pay the people that are actually making the stuff. So, what I would say is, piracy, aye, batter in, man. Pirate everything. Pirate as much as you can. But, see, via piracy, if you find something that you do genuinely like, find a way, if it's a musician or whatever, find a way of giving them cash. So, go onto their thing. If there's a donation bit on their website, use that. If they've got a Patreon or something, send them money via that. Second tier would be, I think, gigs. Third tier would be merch. But even nowadays, folk don't really make that much money off of gigs and merch. So I think every year, just like, you know, Bandcamp Day or whatever that you get every year, here's my idea, there should be like a piracy amnesty, right? The reason people pirate is because it's accessible and it's easy just now. There should be a piracy amnesty where people who pirate can keep on pirating, but maybe they have a wee look. Every year they're reminded, we all do it in public, we're reminded, right, have a look and see who the top most listened to artists are on your MP3 player or whatever you're using. And you just go onto their website and you can be like, right, okay, here's 30 quid on, you know what I mean? And if we all did that, and we could pay directly to the artists without some middleman, some bogus Airbnb model getting in between the people that create the stuff and the financial remuneration for that, I think the world could be a better place. Piracy amnesty, I've invented it. But in order for it to happen, it can't be one central place. It can't be piracyamnesty.com and you go there and you find, because then that central place will take a 20% cut and all this bullshit. I think musicians and people that create stuff should have a way on their website to just directly, as fee-free as possible, directly give them cash. And we should celebrate it as a culture. So the same day every year, or maybe twice a year, just like Bandcamp Friday, we have Piracy Amnesty Day, and we go on and you can buy their music or do the stuff or just give them cash. And I think that's maybe the best way of going forward. But I don't know. Smarty is a budgeted brand of 3, same company. Cool. I'm quite happy that I saved all the money. I really am. It's like the war on terror, just declare war on abstract concept and you can have war forever. Aye. Oh man, profitable war. It's brilliant. 10:30, pronounce Antifa like Roscoe pronounces Tekken. Did I pronounce Tekken like Roscoe pronounces Tekken? I pronounced it weird, that last one just there. I would say Tekken, Tekken 3. Do you say Antifa? Why do you say that? Like, do you say antifreeze when you're talking about antifreeze? Anti as in pro or anti, fa as in fascism, anti-fascism, antifa. That's what I'm talking about. You no say that? Do you say Antifa? Because you heard some American saying Antifa? Doesn't sound right to my ears. Antifa sounds right. Am I wrong, everybody? I was wrong about router. Wasn't I? I was wrong about that. Like your internet, I would say router, but it's a router. But router for me just sounded better. And I can't comment on Tekken. I pronounce it Tekken. But that's an international word, isn't it? That's like Japanese or something, so I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but I don't really care. I pronounce it Ryu as well and not Ryu in Street Fighter, but I don't care about that. I change everything every year if it's cheaper. I've no loyalty to any company. Home insurance, car insurance, internet, electricity, doesn't matter. I'm chasing the savings. Always be chasing the savings. Fuck loyalty towards companies as well. No need for that. Virgin Internet is not good. Switch to Vodafone. It's alright. 3 called me today to say send me a new SIM for the merger. Cool. Decent. I've just signed up with another 2 years for Virgin at this reduced price, so I'm kind of locked in for a bit. O2 are fucking at it and all. It's mental. Brady says, pro tip, if Vodafone is best where you are, get a Voxy SIM. It's Vodafone network, but way cheaper because it's supposed to be for the kids. Amazing. Floella Benjamin. Where do they name these people, man? Floella Benjamin is in the House of Lords. Get rid of the rest. Let her sort it out for a bit. Alright. Is she good? I recognise the name. Politics and worldviews for the system of a down drummer. Fair enough. But weren't they like sort of politically sound? Armenian genocide and all that stuff? Don't know. Tried to sign into my O2 mobile account the other day and was put in a 20-minute queue. Signing into stuff is get really bad, man. Scooby Club, how you doing? Proton issue with someone using Proton Mail without a VPN, giving their IP address away, user error. I see. System of a Down Drummer, support Donald Trump and touting of election conspiracies and anti-Black Lives Matter views, really? That's a wee shame, man. Virgin Media have a text chat now. If you don't fancy speaking to a pushy salesperson on the phone, I put off calling them for literally years because I hated the idea of making the phone call. I hear exactly what you're talking about. Trillo Neutrino is into Mulvad, cool. And again, Mulvad at any point might get corrupted, they might be bad or whatever, but I don't think they are. And out of all the options I looked at, I took about 3 days when all of this happened. I'm like, right, because a lot of people were DMing me. 10:30, I'm choking for a wank, man. How do I proceed? And I'm like, please give me a minute. They're like, I've not got a minute. I'm like, all right. I'm like, have you tried an imagination wank? They're like, what? So I had to explain the concept of an imagination wank. Anyway, turns out Mulvad is the least bad from what I've looked at. But whatever works for you. Have a wee look though and see what country your VPN is based in. YouTube to MP3 gave me my soundtrack as a teen. That would be good. Well, I wonder if YouTube Music can get ripped. Surely it can. Here. I do have a home server. Do torrents even work anymore? It's been a wee while since I've pirated anything. I used to be right into news groups back in the day. I'd be pirating in all sorts of methods that folk wouldn't even know about. But I haven't had to pirate in for ages, man. YouTube to MP3 gang represent. Cool, man. I've got like a wee command line interface to get that happening. Pirate everything but buy a t-shirt. That's right, Base Embrace, 100%. Even t-shirts nowadays, artists don't really make much of a profit unless the t-shirt's like 60 quid or something. But then if you go to a gig and all their merch is about 60 or 70 quid for a t-shirt, they're like, ah, fuck you guys, man, making all this money. But chances are they aren't. So if there's a way of just giving them cash, I was considering switching to Tidal. That's apparently much better for musicians. I tend to buy a lot of physical for artists I want to support. Cool, man. I wish B. Dolan was in, but B. Dolan right now, I was doing voice messages with him back and forth just before I came on. In fact, for all night, actually. And right now, he's preparing lots of music stuff. Right now, he's talking to his music distributor about fair financial stuff. I think it's fine that I just said that. He'll probably tell you in his stream a bit better than what I would. But he's more across this than I am, obviously, because he's very much in the weeds with it all. So I wish he was in just now, but he's currently the busiest man trying to navigate all this pish. Because to be a creative person nowadays, you can't just be the creative person. You need to then navigate an ever-changing series of obstacles that is designed to prevent you from profiting off your work. And for every album that gets put out, it's totally different. The way you're doing it is completely different from the last time you did it. It sounds horrible, man. CEO has invested loads in AI military weapons company. I'm sure musicians will generally be over the moon about that. Of Spotify, aye man, it's just bad. I cancelled Spotify back when everybody was cancelling Spotify. Remember, there was a big thing about 5 years ago, and everybody's like, right, that's it. Who's all cancelling? We're all like, yes, we're cancelling. So I cancelled Spotify back then, and it looks like everybody else has just signed back up for it. So, it used to be for a couple of weeks, if you said you were on Spotify, folk would try and cancel you in the comments. OMG, I can't believe that you still use Spotify, blah, 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 hatred. And now that's all, folk have forgotten about that. But anyway, what I'm saying is pish that, like, we can't have anything anymore without contributing to, like, weapons. Can't have a thing. Pudman says, I used to buy all my music through Bandcamp, but stopped when Tencent bought them. Now it's not owned by them anymore. Right. The music buying floodgates have opened again. Cool. Streaming is inherently shit for musicians. The model simply doesn't work. There is no good option. 100%, I agree. They've basically legalised piracy, and the musician still doesn't get paid. I saw something that says that Amazon paid the best, but fuck that. Here is my idea for Apple, right? Here's what I think. You know how Apple, right? They've got their new phones out and all of that, but really the phone is the same as the last one and the one before. Maybe this metric has got a wee bit better and that material is slightly different, right? But the technology for phones and laptops, for the most part, like the silicon chips are cool, that's good. But for the most part, the form factor, the utility, and the features and stuff are kinda solved now. We've sort of hit a plateau. And so Apple is known as a company for innovating and everything else. And they're a bit stuck as to how to sell the next phone and the one after that and the one after that. So my message to Apple is this. See, if you really want to innovate and if you want to elevate your brand above every other brand in the entire world, and if you want to be seen as a sound, decent company that people want to spend money with, here is how to do it. Invest in developers and creators. You're one of the richest companies in the world. You've got hundreds of billions of pounds just sitting there that you don't know what to do with. You're not doing anything with it. But yet every year you're demanding that that money rises and rises. Here's an idea. Use some of the money to subsidise the payment of creators. By creators, I'm talking about everything. People that make apps on your phone. How class would it be if lots of creative people made apps? Because apps nowadays are pish, man. Remember when the iPhone first came out and the App Store was used as like a form of creative expression? You would have people with all these cool games that you hadn't seen before, people playing with the accelerometer and stuff. All of that has went away because of very, very, very expensive licensing and developer fees and app signing fees. I made a Mac app that I wanted to share with my colleagues, but because it's unsigned, I need to pay, I think, £100 a year to sign up as an official Apple developer, which I'm not going to do. And then for every app that I want signed, I need to go through their bogus process. And if you fail the process of getting the app signed, they don't tell you why. And every time you try and fix it to resubmit it, it's an additional amount of money. Meanwhile, they've got Apple Music. They're touting Apple Music as the best thing ever. You've got the new AirPods that have just been released with apparently lossless wireless audio and all this spatial Dolby pish, all of that sort of stuff. And yet the musicians are still not getting paid for me buying all this tech and setting up. So just pay them better, right? But do it publicly. Do it as advertising. Hey everybody, we're Apple and we've had enough of creators not getting fairly remunerated for their work. Because if it wasn't for you creators and creative people, this company would be nothing. This company prided itself on creative people because it did. Like, look at Steve Jobs back at the start. Look at the attention he gave towards typography. Apple originally was set up as a company to provide tools for creative people. Then round about the time they got into like Beats headphones and stuff, it pivoted to, instead of providing tools for creative people, it was more like a luxury lifestyle brand. And ever since that point on, they might have made a lot of money, but the quality sort of changed and deteriorated. So I don't think that anybody else could do this, really. But Apple are in a very unique position to just be like, right, you want innovation? Here it is. It's not in hardware. It's not in software. It's in philosophy. How class would that be? And now you've got Apple TV. They're good at, creating video content and serving video content and all that sort of stuff. So there could be a position there. Like Severance just won Emmys and things, right? So take that, but scale it down to like, the micro level. So people could make stuff low budget on the phones. The cameras and stuff are amazing. The phones are good enough to edit video and all of that on it. So let me then upload that instead of YouTube to maybe Apple. And maybe Apple will give, 80-20 to the person that created the stuff because they can afford it, can't they? Anyway, just an idea. If I was Apple, who are struggling to find any sort of relevancy nowadays in terms of innovation, if I was them, that's what I would be doing. I would be supporting folk who are making stuff. Because a phone is essentially just a media playback device, innit? Without the actual media, it would be fucking useless. Anyway, thank you for my rant. Could somebody clip that and send it to Apple, please? Thank you. One good thing about 3 is they offer you a cheaper deal when your contract runs out. I'm down to 15 quid a month for unlimited data. Nice one, Carnivore. I think that's more or less what I'm paying for this new Smartie. I think maybe 12 quid or something. Seems to be good. Have you tried printed literature? Support your local corner shop. The pages get stuck together, cherry buns. I loved NZBs, yes. Newsbin, all of that sort of stuff. Giga News. So if all music streaming is a load of shite and bad for artists, am I just better off sticking with what I'm currently doing? Spotify for working and travelling and physical media for when I want good quality. I don't know, Chameleon. I don't know what the best solution is. News groups are back. Interesting. I'll maybe need to get back into that. Kay Harker says, hey James, how's it going? It's going good. I don't go on with my dad. Haven't spoke for years. Am I a shit guy? Please ignore this heavy subject at your discretion. K Harker, I don't know, to be honest with you. That's a big question, and all I know about it is what you've written there, so there might be more nuance. So whatever I say, don't take it as advice in any way. But what I would say is, if you've got a toxic person in your life, and then you can manage to get them out of your life, it might sometimes be the best solution. If there's somebody in your life and they behave in a certain way and you wish they wouldn't, and you think, oh, I can change the way they behave, usually you can't. I don't know the ins and outs about this particular scenario though. So I don't know why yous don't get on, all of that sort of stuff. So I don't know. But sometimes it is just best to not force a thing that isn't going to happen. I know somebody recently who is an adult. I think they've spoke about this themselves, but I'm not going to because it's none of my business. But they've legally sent a thing to their own mum saying, you know, no contact by law. Don't contact me anymore. This is bad. I think there was a lot of trauma in the childhood. All that. I don't really know what the ins and outs are. But I know that in the past couple of months, via going to therapy and working on themselves and stuff like that, they came to a conclusion that that is the best solution. And it might be counter to like how families are portrayed in films and stuff like that or whatever. But depending on who you are and depending on what's going on, it might be the best course of action. For big things like this, right, what I would say is don't trust the life advice of a live streamer. And for big questions like this, therapy, if you can afford it, if you find a good therapist, and maybe the first 2 or 3 therapists you go to might not be for you, but that is a whole group of professionals who are set up to help navigate things like this, because problems like that have got lots of other sub problems round about it and stuff. So I'd maybe recommend. I think that is good advice, is to talk it over with somebody who's qualified to give you an actual answer. But what I would say is all the very best with it, and the fact that you're feeling guilt about being quote unquote a shit guy or whatever means that you do really care about it. Sometimes things can be fixed and sometimes things can't be fixed, and you'll know yourself what this is. And you'll know the history of it all and all that sort of stuff. So all I'll say is I regret that you're in that situation. That fucking sucks. And all the very, very best with whatever the outcome is. Plodder says, I don't know if torrenting is still in, but I do it. Avoid public trackers and use a seed box in Romania though. Class. Some lovely software for managing your remote digital TV and movie backups these days. Sonar. Oh, aye. I remember Sonar and Radar. I've got a NAS upstairs. And so I'm looking for like a fun way of getting back into things. Guitar God says, I'm still into torrents, can't be bothered with streaming services where a lot of content I'm not interested in. I mainly just watch YouTube and Twitch now. I tend to not watch anything else these days. But there you go. Can't have an ice cream and a bit of music without being cancelled, 100%. Torrents are better as the sites get more exclusive. Most are now invite only. You need to feed into the system to get credit though. So you need to keep your torrents available to others or you'll lose access to downloads. The trade-off for this is the files are all pretty much guaranteed to be good. Cool. Well, listen, yous all know me, right? See if any of you lot have got access to one of like any invites for an elite good torrent tracker. I was in the most exclusive torrent tracker back in the day. It was called Art of Misdirection, right? I probably shouldn't be telling you this. But see if you Google, like, what is the hardest torrent tracker to get into? It's that one, like hardest one of all time. And it was a torrent tracker set up to share the instructional tools of magicians, which is why it was even more secret than other secret stuff. And I was in that for a bit, and then one day I went to log in and it just gone. But I've heard rumours that it is still alive somewhere, but I don't think I will ever get back into it. Art of Misdirection, AOM. Private trackers are game changer for Taunton. Listen, if anybody's got any good invites for cool trackers, give us a shout, man. Apple are throwing tons of money at creators as long as those creators are A-list actors and directors. Aye. Am I not right though, in that if they want to innovate, that's the exact thing? They need to de-shitify stuff that has been shitified. Was saying in work the other day, apps are dead unless you have a very specific use case, just use your website. Aye. Which is bogus because websites, well, I'd like to make an app game. You know what I mean? That would be cool. Phones are more powerful than they've ever been. They've got better screens than have ever existed. Let developers make cool shit. Make it easy for me to make cool shit. You killed Flash, Apple. Replace it with something good. Dicks, man. It's also because of the requiring compiling via Xcode shite. I can build it on any OS for any other platform except iPhones and iPads that must be compiled on a Mac for some reason. Aye. Bogus bullshit. Also must be compiled, if I'm not wrong, on a Mac that's been made in the past 5 years or something. Something about that as well. Fucking Dolby Atmos for music. I don't know anything about that. I've heard that's a bit scammy, but I don't know enough about it. But I think Apple have prided themselves of being, like, remember the early adverts had like John Lennon and Einstein and all of that in there? Just get that shit back, man. That's how you got to the level that you are. So anyway, hello Hammy, welcome in. I'm moaning about Apple, moaning about loads of stuff. I would say, see the new operating system and stuff, it's buggy as hell. I had to re-index my own, my whole hard drive. It's made my phone heat up to the point that it refused to charge. I think I need to get a new phone. But phones are dear, man, so I don't know. So I don't know. I don't know where we are. But I quite like, see all of the, is there anything, see all of this, oh, all the new glassy stuff. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Be honest with you. Don't hate it. So all of this stuff. Better watch what I'm showing. So all of that. I don't hate it. A lot of other people really hate it. I like the refresh. I like that there's something new there. I heard 28 years later was filmed with iPhones. It was, yes, and that's why I think the newer iPhones have got lots of like very professional level videography tools in them. They look quite attractive to me as somebody who makes videos. Things like Genlock, I would never even need Genlock, but Genlock and the sensor cropping and all of that look to be really good. And I think it's the people that worked on 28 years later have demanded this technology that have then ended up filtering down into your consumer handsets. But anyway. Thinnest iPhone ever if you ignore the thick bit. It's weird, isn't it? It's weird. I don't know if I'd agree that Apple are struggling with innovation. They're at least 3 to 5 years ahead of their competition in the silicon development. Displays their strides ahead. Innovation can be invisible. You know what I mean, though, from a marketing perspective? I've started this rant about an hour ago. From a marketing perspective, they're trying to, like, I'm talking about the generational leaps from like the iPhone 1 to the iPhone 5 is just like a different world. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the consoles and stuff like that. We've sort of reached a plateau in utility. News groups never went away. I think when Giga News shut down, I stopped using them, but I need to get back into them. If anybody, here's an open question. You know how to DM me. Twitch Whispers, Discord, Twitter. if anybody's got any good invites to exclusive news group piracy sites, can I even talk about this on Twitch? I don't give a fuck. Or torrent trackers. If anybody's got any invites, I would be very appreciative of them. Thank you very much. And I will seed. I won't let you down. I'll seed everything. I have an AUDHD therapist. She's great. Amazing. Cool. There's a very developed set of apps in their ARR suite now. What's ARR? Have we look? Hammy, are you getting the new phone? Have you got it through yet? How is it? BBC News alerts are chilling. What does it say, Trilio? What's happened? It's kind of against etiquette when a streamer is on stream to tell them if there's breaking news, if somebody died or whatever. But I'm quite into that. I like to respond to that stuff in real time. I appear to not have the BBC News app, and I should have the BBC News app, which is weird because I get BBC News alerts, but that must be in the Apple News app. That's why I get those alerts. Aye, alright. I thought you were saying something big had happened. I can't see anything big. At least not on Apple News. Ah well. Sonar Radar, SAB, NZBD, I had that. Aye, Jellyfin is a media server on the NAS. I use Plex over Jellyfin, but it's purely because of how they sort magician content. And Jellyfin doesn't support Chromecast. That was the deal breaker for me. If Jellyfin supported Chromecast, I would use that over Plex, because Plex have got scummy, man. I don't like Plex as a company anymore. And I would like to move to Jellyfin if only they supported Chromecast. But maybe my solution is to buy something that replaces Chromecast that Jellyfin does support. If you want some inspiration to sail the high seas as a pirate, try using Now TV, £10 a month, and then they demand an extra £6 to get rid of ads. Fuck that, man. Any paid tier should be ad-free, shouldn't it? Anyway. By the time he gets down to this, all the context will be gone. It'll all just look like abuse. Everything looks like abuse to me, Gary Black. Mobile first web design basically killed off the general app outside of specific cases and games. I don't know. Hammy says, there is a big delay, sorry, in the chat. I like to read everything. Hammy says, I got into one of the most exclusive hotline servers once after meeting a load of nerds in a pub in London in the early 2000s. It was where the Adobe and Micromedia developers uploaded daily builds of the next versions of their software. Fucking hell. Wild the stuff was on there, but within a week someone binned me from it. Hotline was where the cool kids hung out on the internet in the good old days. That's amazing. I know that you don't like the liquid class. The native mail app looks awful on the iPhone, the bottom of buttons. Here's a problem that I had in the native mail app, although it was before the upgrade, right? Try this out on an Apple phone. I've been doing stuff with Fred's vet bills. Fred Macaulay, not the comedian, my dog. I've got a dog called Fred. Found out he's got cancer recently, so I'm raising money, and thanks very much everybody for putting that in. But on the email correspondence, I had an email thread with me and the vet that's looking after them. All I wanted to do was print out one of the emails in the email chain. And it was on the official Mac iOS email app. And it was on the email that I wanted to print out. I've got a wireless air printer. See if I was in notes or something like that and I typed something in notes, I could send it to print from my phone. Works fine, right? As a user interface thing, I can't even show you because it would be showing you my email that would have doxable information. But if you're in an email conversation, let's see if I can find. I need to find a conversation that I don't mind if you see it. You can't print it. You just can't. You can't print anything. There's no option to print. I went online. I was like, how the fuck do you print for Apple Mail app? And it says, right, okay, it's a bit hidden. What you need to do is you need to hit reply to the email that you want to print and then share the reply to a printer. And I was like, that's a bit obtuse. Tried to do it. Wasn't even there. What's going on, man? I should be able to print an email. It's one of the foundational things of a computer. Anyway, really just weird, man. Why? It'll be hidden. You need to like do a 5-finger rotational swipe to get up the print dialogue or something. I couldn't find it. Had to open it in Gmail and print it there. I could have screenshotted it and printed the screenshot, but that seems wrong, doesn't it? So Apple, if you're watching, I've gave you a big lecture as to how to fix stuff. Also, make me able to print an email that is part of a conversation chain, please. Thank you very much. Liquid glass is really bad for accessibility. Just saying, you can turn it off. Feels like a cop-out. Expect better from Apple. Since I've tried it, so I saw bad versions of liquid glass on Twitter and people quite rightfully moaning about poor readability and poor accessibility and stuff like that. I haven't experienced, I didn't use any of the betas or anything like that, but I've downloaded it on my phone. Haven't really seen anything awful. On the first day, there was, did I stick it on Twitter? My icons were all weird, but it fixed itself. And that was on day one. Like the icons were very, very, very low contrast. Did I delete the tweet? I deleted the tweet because it fixed itself. Aye. No, I didn't. Here they are. So, see here on the left, all of these are icons. See that there should be an icon. That should be the about icon. Should be the software update icon. You can barely fucking see them. And let me go in there now. Let me go in and see if that's since been fixed. Settings. Aye, they look good now. They look good now. They're fixed now. But was it yesterday or the day before? It looked like this. Come on, man. But it seems to be fixed. Don't know if that was a bug or whatever. Rather than a design decision. I'd argue that Liquid Glass is technically impressive UI whilst being abysmal UX. It's a form at the expense of function. It's also wildly inconsistent across devices, and some devices don't even get it. I would argue that some devices shouldn't get it if there is a performance hit on it. So if you've got a phone that's 9 years old, maybe don't try and stress the GPU with all of that sort of stuff. So I had early teething trouble, because that's a pile of shite. Nobody should have that. But once it sort of settled itself down, my phone was roasting hot. It was red hot for about 3 hours after I updated the operating system. And I'm assuming that's just doing some internal housekeeping or whatever. After that, seems to be all right. I'm just glad of a visual refresh. The operating system on my laptop didn't index my stuff, like search wouldn't work. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I thought they changed the way, because I was trying to find contents of a folder based on the file type. Like, I used to be able to just go into Finder, type PNG, and it would show me all the PNG files within a particular subfolder, and it was just showing me nothing. 0 results. And I'm like, no, there are definitely, because I go in, there's one. There are definitely PNG files in here. Have they changed it? So I went in and the search has been changed in Tahoe quite a bit. And I was like, this is fucking bullshit. But it turns out it was just a bug. I had to unindex my full hard drive and then re-index it, and then stuff would pop up as well. So it does seem a bit buggy. But what I'm talking about not having innovation, right, is exactly this. Like, handsets have more or less reached the utility that they're going to reach. By the way, do you like my background? That's cool, isn't it? Oh, look, everybody, it's nearly 4:20. But handsets have got to, like, how good they're going to get. 4:20, everybody. So they're having to add on liquid glass and all this flare and stuff. So what I'm saying is, if you really want to go for innovation, subsidise creators. Anyway. Would you like an invite audio news? It's an audio and graphic software tracker, Peacock. That would be cool, man. Thank you very much. I'm into my graphic software. They're all trying to find how much you're willing to pay for something you used to get for free. It's just the squeeze, the constant squeeze. Hello, Kyber Spy. How you doing? What's an Apple phone exactly? What is an Apple phone? Trump suggests Starmer uses troops to handle the borders. Here is basically what the blurb said. I see. Do you know, and I heard this a couple of days ago, but it might be wrong, that if Israel end up in The Hague because of all their pish, right? As soon as they hit The Hague, the US will then see that. Let me double check this. I might be wrong here. But the US will then see that as grounds for invading the Netherlands. Do you know what? I'm not going to Google this because I'll be in it. But as soon as Israel end up in The Hague, the US will put military on the ground in the Netherlands. Double check that before you repeat it to anybody. But I've heard that is true. And if that is true, fucking hell, man. The Hague Invasion Act. Didn't hear that on the news. Anyway, I'm going to read that so that I can talk about it from an informed perspective. But right now, there's a lot to read that I don't want to bounce it off my dome just now. But that's weird. Anyway, the mail app is awful. Search doesn't work on the mail app as well. So all my emails are on the cloud somewhere, and I want to find an email. So I'm in the vet, and they're like, "We emailed you 3 months ago." So I'm like, "All right, let me find the email." So I go to search for an email in the official Apple Mail app, and it doesn't come up, but it says, "Oh, some results may not show up because they're stored on the cloud." I'm like, "I know they're stored on the cloud. I've got good internet, man. So look on the cloud to find the thing that I'm searching for." Apple. I pay for the iCloud. Pay monthly, like $5 a month. Let me find my email when I need it. Weird, man. Weird. I'll always prefer local app over web app because of memory management. I don't want the overhead or limitations of having to run a web browser to run apps. Web apps rely on you always having internet, which isn't the case as well. Local apps are cool, but then you need hard drive space and everything else. But anyway, all of that aside, I still vastly prefer the Mac operating system to Windows. Like, without a question, man. I think it's brilliant in comparison to Windows. And I prefer iPhones to anything else that I've tried to use. I think it's brilliant. And it's because it's so consistently good that when something is a wee bit off, you notice it. Print option is there when you select reply and scroll down the list a bit. Kyberspy, is that true when you pick an email that is in the middle of a conversation chain? Because it wasn't for me. Or maybe I just couldn't see it. So not just any email. If you're in the middle of a conversational chain and then you pick like one of the emails in the middle, try to print that. Also, who decided that to print it, you have to hit reply? That's a weird design choice, isn't it? Would you agree there? If you're going to print something, the reply would be for replying to something, wouldn't it? I can see putting the print option under share, because conceptually, if you've got an email, you want to do something with it. You want to like either share it to send it to somebody or do something like that. So putting print under share makes sense. Putting print under reply? Who decided that, man? Absolute nonsense. K Harker, all the very best with stuff. And sorry if I didn't answer that good. But I hope you find some solution. Just load up music or photos. The UI in those apps are just an FU to legibility. I think they've fixed photos a wee bit. So they changed photos a couple of months ago. Because it used to be your photos was just your camera roll. So the most recent thing was there. So if you just screenshotted some, you went into your photos, that would be the first thing that showed. And then they changed it all. But it looks like most recently they've then changed it back. But I don't pay for Apple Music. So I can't see that. And I don't think I've been in photos since the upgrade, but I'll have a wee look at it. The icons have to generate a cache due to the 6 or 8 different icons an app should support. Mental, isn't it? You have to manually re-index. Well, Trello, I had to manually re-index it, but in theory, you shouldn't need to. But if you're in the middle of a big mission critical job just now, I wouldn't update the Mac operating system. As soon as I re-indexed it, everything's been fine there. But it took me about an hour to identify the problem, identify that it was a problem, because I just thought, oh, Apple have changed search so that it's unusable now. And then I found a solution online. 420 and 69% charged? Fucking yes, man. My first gen Apple TV 4K doesn't support liquid glass. It's such a nice UI without any legibility issues system-wide. My other Apple TV gets liquid glass and has some legibility issues across the UI. It can be properly turned off. I see. Gary Black, that's right, drugs. Blaze it if you've got them, everybody. So I need to read up on this Hague Invasion Act. That's mental, isn't it? This sounds like one of Cuddle's TikTok facts. Don't you diss Cuddle's TikTok facts are good, man. That's how I get most of my news these days. The Netherlands is woke. Aye. I heard that the administration compelled Microsoft to shut down the Hague prosecutor's work account. What the fuck's happening in the world, man? Every day I wake up, I'm just like, what is going on? My God. You can't turn off liquid glass, but you can use accessibility settings to disable transparency and increase contrast, but it makes the UI look worse as it's for vision issues. You can reduce animation and stuff as well, can't you? Something that I noticed is, and I can't demo this, but see if it used to be on a Mac, if you minimized it, the window would go like that and do like a genie effect and get squashed down, right? And they've brought that back. It feels retro, feels cool, right? I don't hate it. However, it used to be back in the day that if you held shift, the shifty key, when you're minimizing stuff, then it would do it in slow motion. And the animation would take ages to happen. And it would just be a fun thing to do when you're bored. But now they've brought back the animation, but they've disabled the shift modifier. So you can't do it in slow motion. You just need to do it real time, which defeats the point, if you ask me. The new No Man's Sky update is live, class. Dynamite. Muff. Sorry, I've read that. Excuse me. Oh, did I just wake up a wee dog? I just heard dog sleepy noises for the room there. I think I just coughed and woke up a wee dog. My God. Where are we in the chat? I don't think liquid glass will have longevity and will likely be 10% of what it is today. It's not gone down as well as Apple had hoped. Honestly, you know me, man. I complain about everything. As soon as I see something that I think is bad, I will screenshot it and I will stick it on the internet because I love to complain. But I've not found anything, other than those really low contrast icons, I've not found anything particularly offensive. But I'll keep an eye out. And I like the shape of the windows in the new operating system. It just feels newer. Feels like I'm living in a sci-fi world or something. I started using macOS for non-play, and now I hate using Windows when it's relevant to real life, like work or buying stuff. I really like the Mac operating system, despite all these flaws. Where are we? Reply ludicrous, forward to printer makes more sense. Reply? Why would you reply to an email in order to print it? It's the worst. Because they pride themselves on being good designers. Design isn't just about stuff looking nice, it's about utility and function. You okay, wee dog? We've got a sleepy wee dog on the floor over here. We need to get a dog cam set up, man. Searching for text in Safari is unforgivably hidden. It's the ellipses menu, then share, then scroll down to find on page. Horrific UX. Aye. There's see in Finder just now, if anybody's sitting on a new operating system on Mac, in your Finder window, up the top right, there's like an arrow that suggests more functionality. So you press that arrow, but then there's like a sub-menu of one thing, and then you have to click that, and then all the functionality's there. There's like a middle step. So you click a thing, click this one other thing, and then more functionality appears. I'm not at a Mac, so I can't show you what it is, but some days know smoking enough weed or smoking too much weed or something. They're making bad decisions. Anyway, all of that aside, it's still a ton better than Windows. 100%. Search under shared, that really doesn't make sense. And print under reply really doesn't make sense. Come on to fuck, Apple. First thing I do on a new Mac is turn off Genie and set it to scale. Done that since the first Mac OS 10. The Genie effect never went away. Really? I thought the Genie effect was away for a couple of years. I'd just not seen it. I was thinking I was an old man complaining about OS design. Listen, it's what we do for a living, Hammy. If we don't complain about it, then who will? Somebody that is ill-informed, and we don't want them having a platform. You know what I mean? On the flip side, Android 16's new Material UI is really nice. Interesting. There's some RADs in the new OS that'll set you off. Nasty clashing RADs. Deary me. On Android, in the Gmail app, it's just click the email, 3 vertical dots, then print. I've got the Gmail app on my phone, works great. The official Apple on my phone, can I search my emails, can I print? Fix that. Fix that, Apple. Jesus Christ. Anyway, Material Design 3 is an objectively better UX and UI system, but unfortunately it runs on the malware sellotape together that's called Android. Anytime I've tried to fix an Android phone has been for my parents or whatever, and there's just loads of crap bundled in, like ads in the operating system and stuff like that, or just like what appear to be maybe even Trojan apps, like a Messages app that isn't Messages, is asking you to sign in for some other account for some other thing. Every time I have to go in, like, delete a load of crap. Granted, their phones are never new phones, you know what I mean? So my view of Android, I suppose, is at least 4 or 5 years old. So I don't know. But even the operating system should be new. Same with Google as well. Google's operating system's honking. Anyway. I'm looking forward to the new macOS when I finish this mission critical work. Godspeed. Where do you turn Genie on or off? I feel like I haven't seen it. Should be in accessibility or something. No, not accessibility. In appearance. Material Design. Material Design 3 is Google's open source design system for building beautiful, usable products. Oh, aye. Can I use Material Design 3 to create stuff for the web, or is it only for creating Android apps? What platforms can I deliver to? You can use motion stuff. Shows that. Shows motion. Oh, aye. How's that made? There's a video. That's just a video. I thought that was happening in my browser. Can you show me the stuff? In fact, no, it's for apps, isn't it? It's for the Google operating system. But that looks cool. Awfully nasty aliasing round here, but that's maybe just how it's been presented to me. Cool. I've been looking at GUI options for Python scripts recently, specifically tkinter, custom tkinter, and something else called side6 or something. Is it side6? PySide6, which is a bit more advanced than the stuff I need, but it looks to be good. All of this gear. So PySide6 is a thing that I've just learned about yesterday. And you can make apps for different operating systems. You can use a thing called Qt Designer for making you run interfaces and stuff. And you can compile any Python app to like Mac or Windows or something. and it all looks decent. This isn't the website that I thought that it was. Packaging for Windows, packaging for Mac. And it's just like a good toolkit of different user interface things. Oh, also, remember this? The Rabbit R1. I got this ages ago and I forgot that I had it. So I took it out of the box to sell it because I don't really need it or want it. But apparently in the past wee while they have came up with a software update. And apparently the new update's actually kind of good. So I'm going to, in fact, I can do that just now, although it means I need to connecting. So I'm going to try out the new software update on this and see if it's any good. Bowdy was explaining that they've added new stuff to it. Anyway, where are we, folks? What did Carnivore say? Pains me to say that, but Google eventually got there. That's cool. I was looking at my mum's phone, which I think's an Android, might be a Google one. But when she's getting a text message pops up, right? And it's really easy on every text message notification to block and to mute. Like the block button and mute button comes up on every single notification message. What happens if she accidentally hits block? Like, I don't think it should be that easy to, every time a notification comes through, to be able to block it just for like a misclick. So I was getting into like, how do I stop that button for showing up? No, you can't do that. It's like, why? Who decided to make it that easy to click block or mute? I don't know. Anyway, Android spins me out. I got a Samsung for streaming and it flat out lied to me during the install and tried to trick me into installing and signing up for things. I don't have time for any of that shite. If I own the phone, just don't, you know. The search function and settings is so bad. I think we need a full year, right, where all tech companies together decide, right, we won't be bringing out anything new for the next year. We'll spend a full year worldwide. We'll stop competing with each other, stop doing all that sort of stuff. Worldwide, we just go through all the bugs and fix everything and make everything stable. I think that would be a good idea. But I'm not king, man, so I don't think it'll happen. You're a QT designer, Cherry Buns, but thank you very much. Liquid Glass got super nerfed in Mac OS during the betas. They removed it from tons of places like the control center. It's mainly a dock effect that appears in very select places in the OS. I don't mind how the new laptop operating system looks. I'm quite into it. Qt is very Java coated in how it does UI. You know when you boot up an app and your Spidey sense picks up, aye. It's just like that. Yeah, like that. Fair enough. The tkinter thing, if that's how you say it. Got a thing, custom tkinter. Looks good. So if you know how to make Python apps, you can make wee interfaces that look like this. And I can now make things that look like that. I never was able to do that really before. So I'm quite into this. I've been making a whole raft of digital tools just by using custom tkinter, and it seems to be quite lightweight and things compared to that Pi Side 6, which is heavy. That'll be adding about 200 megabytes to every project if you bundle it. Anyway, this is the first time I've seen that rabbit exist. I ordered it before I knew what it was. So I ordered this under the promise they had that it would be able to control applications on your computer. So I thought, falsely, that I could set up macros on my computer, you know, open Photoshop, import this image, do these actions, save it out to that Dropbox folder. And I thought I would be able to do that via talking into this because that's how they marketed it. And then it arrived, and you can't do that. So I'm just like, all right. So I think I will be selling it eventually, but before I do, because I'm selling a lot of stuff quite soon, I will be doing an online garage sale in order to save to raise money for Fred Dog. It was almost in the corner there. Did you see it? And so I think that'll be one of them. But before I get rid of it, I will I'll test the new operating system. It's supposed to be better. Bowdy says I'm going to try and get it to do assistive stuff for my dad who's pretty much blind. That would be class. Unsubscribe to all my work emails accidentally. 3 days of bliss. That's brilliant. That's class, man. IT cornered. It cornered. What's that, Cherry Buns? I forgot what I've just said. Rocketoni says, I also ordered the rabbit for when it was the future. Hello, Kate. Rocketoni, I do feel I'm fairly disenfranchised. What I would say is I like the outer casing of it. It's a nice, beautiful object. Teenage engineering did nice. But functionally, pain in the fucking... It's a lot of shite. So I will be selling it. It would be good to turn into something useful, but I don't really know what that thing is. So even if it was just an MP3 player or something, but don't know. It's got a SIM card slot in it, which is interesting, but I'm not going to pay for another mobile deal. I wonder if the smarty people will give me a SIM that talks to the account that I've already got and just uses some of the I don't know, I need to look into that. Oh, cornered. Oh, there you go. Got you. It didn't fully, when I was pointing it out, it went do. But I'm going to have to redo this screensaver so that it's the correct aspect ratio, because it currently isn't. It goes out of bounds and it's a bit squashed. You mean a car boot sale? I do. I'm doing a internet car boot sale quite soon. Found this Ace Touch Designer tutorial. Amazing. I need to learn Touch Designer and I need to learn Unreal. Oh, that guy. Who knows that guy? You've seen him on things? He's got quite an annoying vibe, but then he'll do something and you're like, aye, fair enough. That was actually pretty good. So I need to get into Touch Designer. Are we getting any Glasgow memes? I was going to, man, but I maybe need to stop in 15 minutes. So we should do that just now, because I've got to the bottom of the chat, haven't I? I've got to the bottom of the chat, folks, so I think it's time to do the thing. SIM cards are on their last legs. I never get a SIM card. An iPhone now, eSIMs are all the way forward. I see. I think in this country, you need a SIM card. I don't think you can get an eSIM phone in this country. I quite like the physicality of it. Like, I've just recently changed my phone provider, and the physicality of, like, removing the old one, putting the new one in, felt kind of permanent, whereas I'm a wee bit suspicious. I don't really know how eSIMs work, so maybe my suspicions aren't based on anything, that it can just sort of be spoofed, or somebody the other side of the world can be like, aye, my eSIM is now this number, and like, surely the physical nature of it would be more secure, but I don't really know about it. I don't know if you can get eSIMs in the UK, I might be wrong. Anyway, I'll be getting an iPhone 17 Pro towards the end of the year. Let the rush die down. Cool. Maybe then black ones will be available as well. Anyway. Not allowed to stop in 15. I just got here. Thanks. Okay, Kate. Well, Kate, what we are doing, right, is right now, I'm going to keep going till Rachel comes home, and Rachel's going to be late in tonight. So I suppose we should go on. Here is the objective. On the internet, there is a lot of Scottish culture in the forms of wee short videos and memes and things. And what I would like to do is, quite often, I'll have one and I just want to show you it, like as a wee cutaway gag. And there's enough Scottish banter that I could have them all here, like easily pressable. And you would just get a wee sort of 10-second clip of like, pump this egg, or something like that. Because quite a lot of you people are international people and might not be fully attuned to Scottish culture. So the idea is that I create a cache of all of these. Catch you after, Bowdy. You can get an eSIM here, but vendors won't give you them without a contract. I see. My phone 15 has no SIM slots, but I can have infinite eSIMs. Alright. I don't know anything about eSIMs. You can apparently clone physical SIMs. Do you need physical access to it in order to clone it, though? If you're not getting the orange iPhone Pro, what are you even doing? I think if I was to get an iPhone Pro, which I have been thinking about, man, because I make a lot of video stuff, and this phone is kind of fucked. But it would be the dark blue one rather than the orange one. But I'm just like, I'm raising money for Fred, and it, correct me if I'm wrong, but it would be a wide manoeuvre to be like, here everybody, could you contribute to my vet bills? By the way, I've just bought this phone that costs $1,000. Do you know what I mean? Although, I maybe need a phone. But it's just money, man. It's just finding resources is brutal. I have done this for my stream, easy to do. Cool. Well, I think that's what we're going to do then. I think the hardest thing will be finding the original upload for all of the media. You know what I mean? UK has eSIMs, lots of phones support them now. I have a physical and SIM in my Pixel 7. They use a chip in the phone, which is the physical part of the SIM. I see. Right. That's cool. Aye, Caravo, the Good Morning Glasgow has to be up there. Is your battery not even lasting a full day now? Aye. This is a 12 Pro, and it always has to be plugged in. Always. But to be fair, the battery is, what now, 5 years old, and I've been using it for 15 hours a day, you know. Mad the target mount increased significantly after the iPhone event. No, this is my calculations, which the doctor has, the vet. Can you even see that? Probably not. I'll get an actual screen version for you. But the total is £8,471. And the total that I need to pay is 3,583. So why is that 4900? Have I fucked this up? Is this the old one? I think I've put the insurer paid on this. Here, wait a wee minute. Hold on. My head is fucking buckled. Wait, see, calculating this sort of stuff. So we might be further than what we actually are here. I think I've put the wrong number into this. Hold on, let's find out. Wait till I think. Cumulative UPay is 3583, right? So if I put in, but I need to calculate it in dollars, I think that's where I fucked up. Here, this is amazing news if this is true. The dollar conversion is doing me in a wee bit. So I don't know if this is fully right. I don't know if this is right, everybody. So this number here, my internal number for the total has to be in dollars because of the way the payment's happening. So what's 3583 GBP to USD is $4851. Oh no, I think we're actually less than what I need. No, I don't know about this. I'm going to have to double check this. I had to make my own totalizer, and honestly, it was one of the hardest things I've had to do. So even though I've put pounds here, I'm converting all of that, and I don't think I'm converting it good. And 2863, I don't think that's pounds. I think that's actually dollars. Let's find out live. So how much have I made in the past 90 days? Is that number's not adding up either? So what's in the past 30 days I've made 2699 USD, which is just under $2,000. But if the total is nearly $5,000, we can't be over halfway there. So this is wrong. And I thought this was right. So let me have a think about this. So the total that I should pay is 3583 pounds, and 3583 GBP to USD. That is 4851. Fuck. So if I type in 4851 into this, right, 2 seconds. I've almost got it. My brain, man. But then the total here is wrong because that's in dollars. So the goal shouldn't be 4,900. It should be 3,583. Right. So I've picked this number, 48888, which is the cumulative insurance paid. And what I should have actually done is pick the cumulative you paid in here, so 3583, which the vet has now said that's it, right? So now, if I trigger the thing, let me save that. I think what's going to happen is this is going to go down. Go down to about here. That's not right, is it? No, that can't be right. I hope you have this mapped out in a spreadsheet. We're closer as the goal is now closer. Right. The problem is, so please ignore this, everybody, right? Ignore what this is currently saying, because this is wrong information. The goal is 3583 UK pounds, right? So 3583 UK pounds is $4851. And so let me just look at that code again. So the total goal is $4851. That doesn't make sense. If that's 3583, then that should be $7,000 or something. No. If that's 286 something, then that should be about $5,000 or something, and it isn't, because this should be 3583. Do you know what I mean? Here is my code. If I get anything doxable here, I don't think I do. So the goal is $4851, and then right at the end, I'm converting that to pounds. No, wait a minute. I don't think I should be converting it to pounds. Let's just ignore the conversions to pounds, right? Just so that I can get a good indicator of what's going on. Right? Save and compile. And then in here, 3583 is 4851. So I don't think I should have been converting it there. If I test it again. That's more like it. I think that's right. I think what I was doing Aye. I think I was converting it to dollars and then saying we've raised so many pounds out of so many dollars. Or did I just undo the thing that I just did? Imagine this happened on Comic Relief. I know, man. I know. Folk could be chucking tomatoes at them. Aye, I was converting it twice. You're looking at a £20 difference when converting today versus yesterday. Well, the goal is different today versus yesterday. Oh, do you mean with the exchange rates and stuff? Aye, the exchange rates have sort of... Spoggers, the payment people will convert everything to dollars. I would like it to just be done in pounds. But we've done it anyway. At the end of the day, I can tell you this much as facts, right? Here is actual facts. We have raised just under $2,700. So thank you very much for that. That is a fact. And what we need to raise is £3,583, right? So £3,583 is $4,851. $4,851 is in this bit here. $4,851. Aye, this is right. I believe this is right. And the goal that we need to raise is 3,583, right? But that information might be wrong. I think that information's wrong. Because that's the bit that I need to convert. So that's wrong. But the goal and the proportion is correct, I think. Do you know what I mean? So that is in dollars. Is what's going down. I do need to pay a fee on the conversion, and then on top of that, I need to pay tax when all this money comes in. So it's all vague and a lot of shit anyway. But I think what's currently wrong is that this needs to be... Thank you for your patience here, everybody. See, for the time being, to just make it as right as it can be. Although it'll be a horrible user interface, I just need to turn that to $1. Total raise $2,863 approximately. The goal is £3,583. Let me have a look at this off stream. I can't do maths with an audience. Believe it or not, I've got dyscalculia when it comes to time and number stuff. I get the fear in me. I get just a wee bit of the fear. I know, Freddie. And see, when I'm doing all of this stuff, it's particularly more scary because if I get my sums wrong, like my dog will die. Do you know what I mean? There's a good 10:30 tutorial online on how to make a Blue Peter totalizer if you're stuck. Watched that guy once. Shite. Absolute shite. So I think this is right. Please ignore the mixed currencies. But I think that's what tripped me up. Which is good, because for a wee while we were down here, and I nearly got really depressed. I mean, being down there would still be... We're well ahead of schedule and stuff. But being up here is a wee bit better than being down there, do you know what I mean? I think this is now correct. 10:30 doing the graphics and Lenny Henry having a meltdown. I was converting it twice. So I stayed up all night making this, and towards the end I thought I'd had it. But anyway, hook into XE API for real-time currency. I'm no doing that, base and brace. But that's maybe a good idea. Should be about 8% full. I think this is more reflective now, isn't it? You don't need a conversion for the progress bar. The currency has no bearing on the percentage. Aye. I've just learned that. But I do need the conversion for here. So what I need to do is calculate two totals. So total that will feed into this is a number, which is what it's doing. But then total which will feed into something that's then converting it to pounds. So So I tried to make this fancy and just to make it in pounds, but it tripped me up. So this is now accurate. This is now real. And this number here has been verified by the vet as well. So the end target isn't something that I've calculated, which is good. That is the exact amount that I owe there, which is cool. But aye, sorry about the currency conversion thing. Dearie me. So the numbers were right before, but the symbols were wrong. Aye. Sorry, I got a heart attack when that went down. I don't know if you could see in my face there. I was just like, oh no. Like, what am I going to tell Rachel? Because I've showed Rachel the graph. Sorry, my phone's going like fuck. There we go. Anyway, thank you for your patience with all this sort of stuff. Aye, so the total raised is in dollars, but it should be in dollars, I believe. So the original numbers were both correct, but in dollars, not in pounds. Aye. But that goal should be in pounds. Carvor says donations are taxed. Aye. Yep. I'm a bit confused with the tax stuff. I've read conflicting things with my own fundraiser if the money qualifies as gifts and would therefore be tax exempt or not. I'll ask the woman, but I will verify it with actual websites if I don't like her answer. Hiya.
Hey there. How's it going?
Brilliant. See, I'm in the UK, okay? And I'm on Twitch accepting donations from viewers, financial donations, in order to pay for my dog's veterinary bills. I would need to declare tax on those donations, wouldn't I?
Yeah, that's right. In the UK, if you're getting donations on Twitch that you're using for something like your dog's vet bills, it generally counts as income. So you want to include it in your self-assessment tax return. It's just a good idea to keep records of what you receive, so everything's above board.
I will definitely do that. Thanks very much for all your help.
You're very welcome. I'm glad I could help out a bit. If you need anything else, just give me a shout.
Uh-huh. Sounds like he's holding in a lung full of hash, man. I'm quite happy with this. We're at the same bit that we were at. It's just I got confused with pounds and again, the bloody Americans, no offence, Kate, but these bloody Americans messing up my numbers. My God, my heart's all going, man. But aye, we got there, everybody. We got there. It's tax deductible in most countries for the donor, but the person receiving usually has to pay tax. There we go. What's cool in the UK, though, is winners of, like, the lottery. If I won a competition, I don't need to pay tax on competition money, which is kind of cool. But that's not the case here. It was a tense moment, wasn't it, Cherry? I mean, see, even if we were down there, which I thought we were for a wee bit, we're still ahead of schedule. I'm still happy with that. You know what I mean? Right now, schedule-wise, what is it, the 17th of December? We should only be here, really. You know, in order for stuff to get paid right. And already we're away up here. I'm delighted, man. I'm well happy. But, see, the calculations of all this sort of stuff does definitely stress me out. So just if there's any boffins in chat that at a glance can verify that ratio was right, we have in the bank, before tax deduction and before conversion fees and all that, but I'll just handle all of that because I can't figure out. We are $2,700 in the bank right now. And the goal that I need to pay them is £3,583. And I think that's that, isn't it? If anybody has a wee glance at that. I think that's that. Thank you very much, Little Shunts. He's doing all right. He's been a wee cheeky boy, although today he wasn't eating his food. I had to put peanut butter into his food to get him to start eating it. And then as soon as he started eating it, he was fine. He was all right. That wasn't the woman, so I'm calling nonsense. You're Canadian now? Fucking yes, Kate, man. These Americans don't even spell number with a U. I know. Stay to them, man. No offence to Americans, yous are going through a hell of a lot just now. And it was 9/11 on top of that, do you know what I mean? So, thoughts and prayers. God bless you. There's finally a preview app on iOS, really? I didn't know that. That's cool. So a bunch of Americans criticising the UK for banning machetes and zombie knives. I was like, guys, you haven't a leg to stand on this week, 100%. Oh, we've just got another wee goal. Goodness me, it went up. Simon, thank you very much. Simon, thank you very, very much. Have another £8 to relieve the tension. I've no idea if that was visually represented in an accurate way, but rest assured, I got it, and every penny of that will be spent towards Fred. So thank you very much. They do have a ban on Kinder Eggs as well. They've got more guns than people, but you can't buy Kinder Eggs. Thanks very much, Simon, for chucking cash at Fred. Did you see the fear in my face there when I thought I'd fucked it? So I will fix this number so that it's in pounds, and I will double, triple check it. But for the time being, we just need to deal with that, if that's all right, folks. But that's something that I need to do offline, because I'm not doing numbers with an audience. Did I fall asleep before 10:30 and manage to get to my point, Edinburgh being a tram cup? I didn't see the message. It's a competition where people compete using trams? Really? How can you do tram racing? Surely you would need to... Do you know what? I don't know, man. I don't have any opinion on that. This totalizer is a UI nightmare. Mixed currencies on a scale for time. I know, base and brace, I know, mate. £3,583 is about £4,857. Aye. So $4 So right now, say we've got $3,000-ish. Like, I'm heavy rounding. So say we've got $3,000 out of rounding $5,000. That does look like about 3/5, doesn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So visually that checks out. I promise you, see when I'm doing graphics for BBC News, I've got it all under control because the software we do for that doesn't need to be live or updated. So all of that's under control. Whereas building this, I had to build from scratch using an API that isn't set up to do this, which is why all of this is kind of shady. Imagine seeing this and being like, it does infographics for the telly. Jesus Christ, man. My throat's awfully sore, so what I'm going to do is go and get a wee drink. Hiya, Pepper. Are you a wee pepper dog down there? We've got a wee pepper dog just down here. Do you want to come and say hello? She's like that. Okie dokie. You just sit down there all nice. She's very funny. I've got a new dog couch thing over here. It's not new, it's for Rachel's room. She was wanting to do it. You can kind of see it a bit here. And so I've put it here, and I'm going to invite the dogs to sit up on that so that we can have some dog patter over there. I think it would be interesting. I have the same problem when people see the standard of spelling on my comments. They think, Christ, that queen writes for a living. Aye. Totally get it. Totally get it. The pressure's on though. Hi, Freddie. Freddie, you've no idea the amount of bloody numbers and stress I've had to go through, buddy. Eh? I'm going to go and get a wee drink. I'll be back in a second. And here, see when I come back, how's this for an idea? We are going to find all the best bits of Scottish internet culture. We're going to try and clip all the videos somehow using a YouTube downloader thing or something like that. And then I will try and map them so that they appear on the screen. I will get so far doing that, and then Rachel will come home, and then I'll have to stop doing that, and then we will hang out with Rachel. But for the time being, I'm going to go and get a wee drink, and I recommend to yourselves to go and get a wee refreshment or something. I'll be back in just a wee second. I'll see you soon. Oh, I did something very professional there. I knew that I was going to be away from the stream, so I invoked an advert, which is the best time to do it, because I keep forgetting to do stuff like that. Hiya, mate, you alright, Freddie? Do you want to lie? Costume change exactly for Act 2. I'm a professional. No, it's just I'm a wee bit cold. I Can't Give It Up says, we came 18th. It wasn't racing, it was things like tram 10-pin bowling and tram curling. That sounds brilliant. I'm into that. Can't Give It Up says, here 10:30, amazing. What have we got here? The incredible drama of the European Tram Driving Champions. I will check that out, man. Thank you for that.
You give 100%.
Hold on, there's adverts. Good boy, lying down nice, Mr. Fred. Good boy. We're at advert 2 of 2, then we're going to look at some tram drama. Tram drama. Right, what is going down here with the tram drama? Oh, we're still listening to music. By the way, the music that you hear in the background is by my mate Paul. And his SoundCloud link is in chat, if you want to hear more of that. But for the time being, was there 2 bits of music playing there? Ah, no, we're fine, we're fine.
And behind me, they are making the final preparations for the European Tram Driver Championships. And if you've never heard of the European Tram Driver Championships, then I guess you didn't see the preview video I put out the other day. But like I said then, forget the Olympics, forget the football. This is the sporting event of the year. Welcome to the
I'm hearing this twice.
Tram Europameisterschaft 2024.
But I think it's just on the video. I think the guy's duplicated his audio. There was a slight echo in it. This is for last year, so this isn't the one that we won. Sorry if that was loud. Sorry if you've got loud stuff. It's quite loud though, isn't it?
Ever since the moment I discovered there is such a thing as the European Tram Driver Championship, as you can probably imagine, it has been right at the top of my Tim Traveller bucket list. What we're about to see here are tram drivers from 26 different cities all over the continent going head to head trying to complete 6 different tram driving challenges. Each city brings a team of 2 drivers whose scores will be added together, and in the end, one of those cities will be crowned European champions. Okay, so how
This is cool. So what you're saying is Edinburgh did well? Did Edinburgh do good this year then? Right, let me see some like tram competition.
Jennifer needs to stop and go 3 times while spilling as little water
18th out of 25th, not great. And that was this year?
as possible from the bowl on the front of the tram. It's basically a test of how smoothly and gently
This guy's voice is in the background.
she can brake and accelerate. But bear in mind, all of
No,
this
it's
is
somebody
against the
else's.
clock, so she can't afford to be too smooth and gentle. There is a maximum of 500 points available for each of the 6 tasks, plus another 500 depending on your overall time.
The American mind would not be able to comprehend this.
An hour, and then apply the brakes to try and stop on the target. The twist is, once she's applied the brakes, she cannot touch the brake handle again. So if, for example, she suddenly realises she's applied far too much braking, well, there's nothing she can do about it. She just has to let the tram stop way before it reaches the target, and she scores 0 points. But next up is the tram billiards, one of my favourite tasks. And again, there are 500 points available here if you can hit the ball so it ends up in the centre of the table. But once more, Jennifer applies the brakes slightly too soon, and the tram doesn't make contact with the cue. So no points there, unfortunately. And now it's time to get out of this tram and run around to the next one for the final 3 challenges. First up,
Imagine just trying to get up the road with your messages and you can't get a tram because all these cunts are everything's all busy and all that, and you're just like, come on, man.
is the emergency brake challenge, where Jennifer has to accelerate to 25
Here, hen, does this stop at Bell's Hill?
kilometers an hour and then hit the emergency brakes. It's quite similar to the second task, except the twist here is that they've covered up the speedometer. So she has to guess when she hits 25. And as you
Pepper,
can see,
grow up,
the judge
Pepper.
is waving a red flag. That means Jennifer didn't reach 25 kilometers an hour before stopping, so unfortunately this attempt doesn't count. And we move straight on to the perfect stop challenge. This time, Jennifer has to try and stop in the perfect position so that the second pair of doors lines up exactly with an arrow placed on the ground. But once more, she
Dogs
stopped
are
a
barking
little
at
bit
absolutely
too
nothing.
soon. Which means there is only one task left. And usually this is my absolute favourite task, the tram bowling. But unfortunately this year, they're not able to do the tram bowling because there is a busy road just
Rachel's
beyond the end
home,
of
that's
the course.
what's up.
And
Rachel's
apparently
home,
there were some
everybody.
safety concerns about trams punting giant yoga balls into oncoming traffic. So instead, they've replaced it with a memory test.
2 seconds.
During Jennifer's run, there's been a series of 5 electronic signs at the side of the tracks displaying random symbols, and she can score points here by remembering what those symbols were and arranging them in the correct order. In many ways, this is a fairer test for the drivers than the tram bowling is, but as a spectator sport, it's not quite the same, is it? Anyway, Jennifer's done now, so all that remains is for her to run to the finish line, hit the red buzzer, and stop the clock.
Doggies are all quite excited because Rachel's home. See that sort of clock buzzer set up? That is exactly an electronics project that I'd love to build. Imagine it was your responsibility to build the clock buzzer for a European tram championship. Pepper, it's fine, mate. I know all about it. No need to be alarmed, Pepper. Everything's just wonderful. Stop it. Stop it, though. Grow up. Nobody cares, Pepper. Pepper, nobody cares, pal. Will I give you ear gel? I'll give you ear gel. I'm going to give you ear gel. I'm coming for you. What are you moaning about? What are you moaning about? Eh? Don't have a lot to say now, do you? No. What was all that piss you were just saying just there? You forget, do you? Because I didn't care for that. Aye, thought so. Anyway, go and see Rachel. You got to see her? Where is she? Ready to use. Oh, hiya, Freddy. I know. Hiya, big man. Oh, hiya, big Freddy. You tell me Rachel's coming home. I know. Oh, I know Rachel's coming home. I know. Yeah, good boy, man. You stop that. Freddy, could you speak to Pepper, please? Freddy, could you speak to Pepper, please? Tell her to stop this pish. I know, buddy. It's Rachel. It's Rachel. You can't lick me. It's Rachel. I'm going to have to wash my face because if he licks me, any saliva or other bodily fluids, because he's on chemotherapy, can apparently alter my DNA. So I really need to go and wash my face immediately. Hi, Freddy. Oh, he's a good boy, isn't he? Oh, he's a good boy. Oh, my bliss boy. What? Pepper, fucking hell, come on now. Oh, he's Freddy, though he doesn't bark. Freddy doesn't bark at all, does he? You're a good wee girl. Good girl, stop barking. Good girl, stop barking. Yeah, big Freddy. Wee other girl dog. Freddy, you're the best dog. You are. Pepper, you're a dog. Freddy, you're the best dog. Yeah, he's a good boy. Pepper, you're a good boy as well sometimes. Yeah, Freddy. So I think Rachel must be on the phone to her mum or something, because she's parked up outside, but hasn't came in yet. So that means dogs are activated because they've heard the sound of her car, but they haven't had the payoff of actually getting to see her. So they're both in here telling me, listen, something's not right. But I think Rachel will probably either be sitting in the car just like gathering herself before she has to come in and see me, or she'll be on the phone to somebody or something like that. Air jail is a cuddle, bestial, aye. Definitely. I think I need to go and deal with my full family. At least 10:30 becomes dog's saliva man. Aye, well, I need to go and wash his saliva off of my face, because apparently it's one of the baddest things that can happen. Oh, cool, I'll read Mac. Mac's on.
Hi, everyone.
Let's do this. And let's do this. And let's do this. Listen, everybody, Mac's cool. I've recently watched 12 Hours of Terminator 2 with the Macaroni Prince. We're going to go over there, and I will be in chat eventually, but I need to take care of all my stuff. What was the thoughts on the video? I'll be honest, I was a bit distracted. What I would like to see is this year's video, but I like the concept of tram Olympics. I really like the concept of that, and I'm glad that people are doing it. 100%. See you later. Listen, everybody, my name's James Houston, and Houston's boosting. But before I go, it's your magic trick, innit? Here we go. See you later. Bye. Bye then. Love you. Bye. Ta-ta. Love you very much. See, before I go, though, I've got a wee bit of... No, I don't have enough time. See you later. Bye. Mwah, mwah, mwah.